Good morning, fam. What's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much for joining me on this fine Wednesday, April 10th. Just a couple days away from Alabama's spring football game. Let's get some shout outs going this morning. Let me know where you are watching this video from inside the comment box. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys being a subscriber of this YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys for being a fan funder. I appreciate the sponsors like Residence Inn in Ocean City, Maryland. Guests can book at their website. LPR is the promo code, 20% off if you're up in the Maryland area. Rogue Shop, you know you like to rub it on your back, right? RogueShop.com, promo code is Bama, legal CBD and more. Sponsor, Demetrius Maynard, who's basically a viewer like you that just wanted to sponsor the show. If you're interested to be a sponsor, let me know. I appreciate you guys being here inside the comment box. We had an opportunity to watch practice yesterday. Practice? We're talking about practice? Yes, we're talking about practice. Had an opportunity to watch the Alabama Crimson Tide yesterday. Right here in beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So I'm going to provide my thoughts on what I saw at practice now that I've had a couple hours to sleep on it. Of course, you can watch Smook and I talking about practice and our observations after practice. And I know I was reading through the comments this morning about if we were going live last night. Well, we kind of made an audible in the evening time because when we have practice, you have to be there from 3:30 to 5:30. Okay, so it's 2 hours. So you get to watch practice for 20 minutes. Then you kind of upload that footage, and then you go back for the player interviews, which start at 5:30. By the time we update that footage onto YouTube, right, then it's 6. Then we do a practice cut, which puts us at 6:15, and then we package that video and brought it to you as a regular video as opposed to going live. So that's how we conducted yesterday. Now, there's a bunch of curveballs that we're always dealing with the new staff in terms of the media availabilities. Nothing is the same. For example, yesterday we had an opportunity to talk to offensive players and defensive players. But it was in the indoor facility. So we're always trying to figure out, the best way to deliver our content. So we figured a strong video with practice highlights, which you saw, a really good video with great audio with Jalen Milroe. And those are videos that I upload and I make sure the audio is perfect on those videos. And then, we uploaded a video with Smook and I talking about practice, and that I came home, I worked on that video and uploaded and boosted the audio. So that's how it works on Bama Football on YouTube. It's easier to go live in the morning because you just turn on the camera and you just go live. But when you are in the field reporting, it's difficult because you're fighting really the two biggest challenges that you're fighting when you're in the field away from the office is internet connection and audio, right? Unless you are have a satellite truck or a van or whatever, it's just going to be difficult to give the highest quality, right? So us having 100,000 subscribers, we want to be able to bring you the highest level content, right? A lot of people just dump onto Twitter. But if you go back and you package that audio and you package the video the way it's supposed to be done, you might just have to wait a little bit longer. But that's how, it operates right here at Bama Football on YouTube. I'm going to take your calls today. You have me till, I think 9, and then I'm joining, or 9:30, and then Ty Hayes will be joining me, Bama Football on YouTube as well, and we'll talk some A-Day. I'll give you some observations of what I saw yesterday. Call line is open, 205-850-1994. We have Chris from New Jersey. We got a 256, and we got Jay in from Round Rock. We'll take Jay to bat leadoff today. Jay, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling from Round Rock. Welcome to the show, man, and good morning to you. Come on. Jay? I can't hear you, Jay.
Kyle?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Go ahead. Welcome to the show, Jay, and good morning to you, man.
This is Glenn from Montreal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mixed up the numbers. Glenn, batting leadoff from Montreal, man. Come with it. It's good to hear your voice, man, and good to catch up with you, man. Welcome on to the show, Glenn.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to hear from you, man. It's been a little bit of a minute, man.
Yeah, I've been watching, just haven't had phone time.
Yeah, it's
I
all
work
good.
at the same time sometimes. So quick thing. I know I'm a little late on this, but man, what a run with basketball. I can't wait to see what comes in the future. The coach just I can't even understand how he didn't get any votes for Coach of the Year. Just ridiculous. The second thing I was wondering is I've been watching your stuff from your interviews and stuff, and I'm curious to know what your impression is about all the opening up of practice and of the program. How does that feel to you in terms of focus and preparation? In terms of, do you think it detracts, or do you think it gives the kids some added confidence to talk to the press as much as, and the assistant coaches as much as the access that they've been providing?
Yeah, on the line with Glenn calling in from Montreal. First thing is about Nate Oates, and yeah, I'm shocked that he didn't win Coach of the Year. I think one of the things that Nate Oates did was he won. He took this team to the first Final Four that they've ever been in school history, but he did it with new players. He did it with new assistants. He has proven that he can coach at the highest level in college basketball. I'm not surprised to see him turn down Kentucky. I don't even know if he was offered or whatever, but I think he's invested in this program. I think he's invested in the future of Alabama basketball. I think that people are behind him in terms of the NIL and what they're adding to Alabama basketball. Alabama basketball is here. Like, don't get it twisted out there if you think that Alabama basketball is just a one and done. Like, the brand of Alabama basketball, this is a basketball and football school now. It's a you have all these other sports which are great, but in terms of like the overall brand, in terms of like the major sports, Alabama basketball has arrived. I can't wait to see what they do in the transfer portal. Clearly, they need a big. I think that was, the reason that they didn't beat UConn was they didn't have a really big rim protector like Klingon or, the kid Edie from Purdue. But whatever. I mean, I love the style of play. This team was picked 5th in the SEC. They went to the Final Four. They peaked at the right time. Nate Oates is a hell of a coach. Greg Byrne did an amazing job, not only picking up Nate Oates and bringing him to Tuscaloosa, but also securing him by securing the bag, putting on a really big buyout that I'm sure, if Kentucky really wanted to, maybe they could make a run at it. But I think it speaks volumes into Nate Oates, and I'm surprised, too, that he didn't win Coach of the Year. But you know what? Coach Saban, he didn't win a lot of Coach of the Year awards. For what I think we got like accustomed to his greatness, so he didn't win a lot of Coach of the Year awards. Nate Oates plane got robbed. So did Will Reichard and Coach Saban this last season, because those two guys should have won, Kicker of the Year, the Lou Garza, and Coach of the Year. I think when we look to the player interviews and kind of the access that we get now, it's great because you get a chance to hear so many of the assistant coaches and hear their mindset. These guys are ultra talented. They have a great mindset, and I think it's good for the overall brand of Alabama in terms of recruiting. I think that, these players being able to speak with Alabama is great. I will say this, though. I'm still trying to figure out like the analytics of it, but I think because Coach Kalen DeBoer has given so many interviews, that it has diluted the overall message from him. In terms of, kind of the interest level. Plus, honestly, I know it's the honeymoon period, but I think he's too nice, right? Like, Coach Saban kind of had a way of, towing that line of, he wasn't afraid to go after reporters or whatever. I don't know, like, how that is going to play out when it gets a little bit, tighter in terms of, like, the game week coverage. But I haven't, there's not the same, like, no one is going to replace Coach Saban, but I think he's great at the podium, and I think he says a lot of positive things. But right now, I think he, I've been tracking like the views, and it's not the same as Coach Saban. What else you got, Glenn?
Well, certainly the laugh factor isn't the same. Coach Saban was always good for a good laugh. The next thing I'd like to ask you about is, have you been seeing much of our defensive backs when you're there at practice? I'd like to know what your thoughts are about. We lost a lot there in the transfer portal. We got a lot of unknowns coming in terms of our freshman class and transfers. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, had an opportunity to speak with Malachi Moore yesterday. Malachi Moore is that guy, and the wealth of experience that he brings back to Alabama is tremendous. I think when asking him, and I asked him point blank yesterday, his thoughts on Keon Sabb and Damani Jackson, he said that those guys are true professionals. So you have really 3 true professionals back there, which are going to bolster this Alabama secondary. I think the fact that Alabama added on these freshmen secondary players like Red Morgan, Jay Mincy, Jalen Mbakwe, Peyton Woodyard. Those guys are growing up really, really fast. I can't wait to see them contribute during A-Day. The secondary is going to be held under a microscope, considered all these guys that left. I personally still feel that Alabama goes in the transfer portal and brings somebody in from the secondary along with the offensive line. But from right now, what I've seen in there, I have a video that I posted yesterday. These guys are moving with the secondary. They're working with Mo Lindquist, Colin Hitchler. I mean, there's no downtime at this practice. It's kind of, you know what it was like? It was like watching a very high tempo, like, you know how Nate Oates basketball practice, I don't know, there was a couple, footage pieces put together of Alabama's basketball. It's such up tempo. That's kind of how Alabama's football practice was yesterday. So I think that, the secondary is coming along. Red Morgan is a guy who's probably been the freshman standout of the secondary group. But these other guys, Devontae Smith, don't forget about him. So everything looks good. Make a final point, Glenn.
If you want to judge a coach, watch his practice and tell me how much standing around they do.
100%.
Either they're doing and learning or they're standing and listening.
Yep.
And that, we want them learning by doing. You know what I mean? That's a hell of a point you make. Last question I want to ask real quick, if you don't mind, is what's your impression of Coach Lindquist? All the things I've seen on the internet and on YouTube, man, I mean, that guy is just an animal. And I was just curious, since you've had the up close and personal, what you think about it.
Mo Lindquist won't be here long. I'm surprised he's, he, in my opinion, I think, and this staff, I really like this staff. Jamarcus Shepard is amazing. Amazing. Nick Sheridan, he's kind of won me over, to be honest. But Mo Lindquist, I think, has been the biggest addition under Coach Kalen DeBoer in this staff. I mean, this guy is elite. I can't even imagine if you're out there and whether it's recruiting, whether you're being coached up by him. Look, and I know T-Rob had a really good connection with these guys, not Mo Lindquist. Mo Lindquist, I think if there's an assistant coach MVP right now, he's getting it 1,000,000%. True professional. This guy won't be here long. Like, enjoy the interviews while you have him. He was the head football coach at Buffalo. Right? He coached with the Dallas Cowboys. Trayvon Diggs has a lot of success because of him. Mo Lindquist, he's been amazing, honestly. Glenn, I appreciate you calling this morning. Please call again next time, and appreciate the dialogue.
Hey, man, have an awesome day.
All right, man, you too.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, roll tide to you. Glenn calling up from Montreal. We go right back to the phone lines with Chris in New Jersey. Hey, we're making our way down, right? We got Montreal now. We're cruising down to New Jersey. Chris, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in. Good morning to you.
Kyle, good morning. I know I said I was going to call back later in the week, but after that video from practice yesterday, I was like, I got to call. So first of all, what I want to say is you and Smook, fantastic. Listen, when you got to realize one thing, and I'll speak for the undefeated. I hope they don't get mad. But when you guys ask a question, we go wild because you're our guys. So, so keep it up. That was great. The questions were great, and by the way, just Milroe, how poised. He's like an NFL quarterback in that interview.
Yeah.
I mean, he's our guy. So I don't want any more arguing about Milroe. He's the starting quarterback. Now, I want to just give you a little, because I watched your video. It was great. You and Smook. My observation. I got a couple quick observations. I think that Justice Haynes and Jan Miller, both, to me personally, they look much bigger than last year. They look SEC ready right now. Also, Caleb Odom, Kyle, when was the last time? I've only been watching Alabama for 17 years. When was the last time we had a receiver that looked like that? He looks like a beast. I mean, he's like a long strider, and well, I'm really excited to see him play. One other thing is, I've been watching. I know you guys have more access now, but I never really saw as much coaching up as we've seen so far. And by the way, Milroe said it. He's getting coached up by multiple coaches. But where I'm going with this is Brockenmeyer getting coached up. First of all, the last video you guys did when you guys were asking him questions, to me, he didn't look as big as he is. And then when you see him in that video, I'll tell Undefeated, look at that video, because versus the coach, he looks big. He looks like an SEC center. So to me, I certainly think he could win that battle and be the starting Bama center. So that's very encouraging. So, geez, I watched that video. It was like great, and you guys looked very excited when you guys were outside. So great job, Kyle.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm gonna try to load this video on the fly. I'll see if it will add. So check this out. Let me set the stage for you guys. So after practice, when we're waiting for the interviews, and I spoke about this yesterday in our post-game wrap, we're on the phone with right now Chris from New Jersey. We're standing there waiting for Jalen Milroe, and there's like 50 people waiting to interview him. So we're kind of like setting up a scrum. What's up, T?
Good morning, Undefeated. Good morning, Kyle.
So we're waiting, and off to the right, about 10 yards away from me, is Coach Kapilovic working with Tommy Brockemeyer. Okay, and this is what you were just saying, Chris. Okay, that's not the interview. This is the interview with Jalen Milroe. But they're standing to the right. Okay, and Kapilovic is just working with one-on-one Tommy Brockemeyer and James Brockemeyer, excuse me. And they're sitting there and they're just working together and they're going over snapping the football to where, and I'll see if I can find this clip, to where Coach Kapilovic is literally snapping the football and then getting off the ball and hitting the bag. And then James Brockemeyer right behind him is doing the same thing. And this was after practice. Like practice had ended and there's kind of some guys like still kind of hovering around, but it was amazing to see. And I think you're right. Like watching this new staff coach has been really amazing. Coach Kapilovic, honestly, has been a really great addition as well. I don't know, Coach Wolford or whatever, I'm sure he's going to do a great job, but that was a really good clip. I'll bring it up here in a second so you guys can see. Other things that you hit on is I think that, with Justice Haynes and Jan Miller, and I was going to talk about the running backs as well within my segment, it's amazing to see those guys. You have Justice Haynes, then you have after him, you have Jan Miller, and then you have Richard Young and Daniel Hill. Daniel Hill's a big, imposing type back. And then you have Richard Young who's doing his thing as well. But like Justice Haynes has this fast twitch, snappy feet to where I haven't seen it before. Somebody made a good comment though in the comment box, and they said that it's I wonder if his footwork is better than Jahmyr Gibbs. I would say yes, but that's really good because that same kind of fast twitch. Justice Haynes has that. Jan Miller does a really good job as well coming out of the backfield. But these guys catch the football so well. Honestly, if you watched that clip yesterday, and I know you did, Chris, these guys didn't drop. How many drop passes were there in that clip? And there was probably 50 to 60 balls thrown.
I think zero.
There was honestly, there was no dropped passes. And then hitting on Caleb Odom. Look, Caleb Odom, he's the guy, and he's going to be hyped up. Every year we're going to hype up a certain freshman. Last year it was Justice Haynes, and he came through with the 8A MVP. I don't know how many balls Caleb Odom is going to catch or whatever, but the fact is he's moved to wide receiver. He's 6'5". He's 215 pounds. He looks the part. He made a great touchdown catch in the last scrimmage from Dylan Lonergan. That's the third team, fourth team quarterback, whatever you want to say. It's great to have him there, to see him. The tight ends are catching the ball as well. I saw Robbie Oots kind of turn back and snag a pass as well. It's good to see. What else? Any final point, Chris?
Oh, Kyle, just one last thing. I know you got Taylor in the room. Can you do us? Remember, this is a global channel, brother. So do us a favor when you guys put upcoming and you put a time. Can you put it if it's either Eastern Standard Time or Central for your time, so we know? Because we're some of us actually unfortunately have a job, have to work. I wish I didn't have to work. I could be on this channel all day, but so when I come in there, I know where we are. So that's all I ask, because you got Montreal, you got people coming from South America, Europe, so just so we know, Kyle.
Yeah.
Listen, keep up the great work. Wonderful. Everybody's pumped for A-Day. And roll Tide, and we will talk. Be good.
All right, appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here.
Chris, all of our times are in Central Time. So, but I will put that on there from now on.
All right, and here's that clip right here. And we'll get to a 256 in just a minute. Just hang tight. So here's that clip. So I'll go full screen on it. So we just caught this. Like they're working out together. So here's Coach Kapilovic right here, getting down, showing James Brockemeyer to the right, literally like they're still working on snaps. I thought this was probably one of the best pieces of content that got the entire practice. This was like a post-practice thing. you have our sponsors over it, Residence Inn, getting right up in the middle of James Brockemeyer. Sorry, I've called him Tommy a couple times. My bad. But that's James Brockemeyer, and he deserves like his flowers, because when you looked at his story, and that's James Brockemeyer, number 58. He's done a really amazing job in terms of sticking with the process. He said he's up to 300 pounds. Coach Kubilovic right here working with him. I think this is a really great clip, and I think it shows you, the emphasis that they're putting on not only the offensive line, but literally snapping the football. So James Brockemeyer said that when he came in, that he was 265 pounds, and now he's 300 pounds. And if you're wondering about Parker Brailsford, Coach said that he is with Alabama. He's going to be here at Alabama, and no need to worry in terms of Parker Brailsford leaving. So he's going to be a member of the Alabama Crimson Tide. We go back to the phone lines, and we got a 256. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
This is Darryl from Huntsville.
Hey, what's up, Coach? I appreciate you calling in, man. Welcome to the show, and take it away.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see A-Day. I want to see I'm always going to look at the defensive and offensive lines. That's the basis of the team. I also want to see I'm not worried about the running backs. I think they're going to be spectacular. And I think the wide receivers are going to be fine. But I want to see the secondary, too. Who's going to replace who at cornerback? And do we have some legitimate safeties? Do we have some depth? Especially depth on the defensive line, where we can get a good rotation going. We can have situational players. We have a rabbit package, and guys come in just to rush the passer. So that's what I'm looking for on the A-Day, and I'll be excited to see it. And I also want to see the demeanor of the coaches. I want to see Coach DeBoer's demeanor.
Yeah,
I want to see exactly what his demeanor is. Is it is this fun? Is this we're having fun right now? Are we really? This is a prelude to game day in August. So those are things I'm looking for, and also, of course, we want to see the quarterbacks, because again, it keeps telling me that from what I'm hearing that Milroe is the guy. But everybody keeps they're pumping up Ty Simpson, and he deserves it from what I'm seeing. So it's a lot of things to see and a lot of good things to be excited about at Alabama football.
Yeah, on the line with Darryl calling in from Huntsville. The thing about it is, excuse me, I think that this secondary has a lot to prove. I do have more confidence today on April 10th than I did before spring football, because of the fact that I have seen the secondary kind of transform and add, kind of bolster up with Damani Jackson and Keon Sabb, Malachi Moore, Devontae Smith, Red Morgan, Jay Mincy, other guys, that I might not have mentioned. I feel good about it. I feel good about the secondary now more because I've had a chance to speak with Colin Hitchler. By the way, I saw him at Publix with his family. Yeah, they're cruising in. He just has a newborn, too. And then Mo Lindquist, as I said earlier in the show, he brings the heat. So I think when you look to the secondary, I feel good about it. But I want to see these guys in action. And whatever you see during A-Day, I don't know, like, how much of a snapshot is it really going to, kind of give us? But I think at this point, I would imagine that the offense is a little bit ahead. No, I don't know. I'm curious. I wonder if the offense is ahead of the defense or vice versa. I don't know. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think with the quarterback situation, look, I love where these quarterbacks are at. Having an opportunity to hear from Jalen Milroe yesterday, he is honestly a professional. He sounds like an NFL type player. He's had a lot of coaching. He has a lot of experience. He threw the football really well yesterday. Excited to see it. And I'm happy for Ty Simpson as well. The progress that he's made, I'm not shocked to see that he's doing amazing. He's been within the program. I thought that Jalen Milroe's comments yesterday on Nick Sheridan were powerful, saying that this is what he said. You rewatch the video. He said, it's nice to have an offensive coordinator that has confidence in me, that believes in me. And I think, honestly, reading between the lines, why not? Why do we have to bullshit about it? Bill O'Brien didn't believe in him. I don't know the relationship that him and Tommy Rees had, but Bill O'Brien didn't believe in Jalen Milroe. So It's been really good to see, these quarterbacks develop. And, this is interesting to watch. And I have no idea if this means anything, but the third quarterback getting reps is Austin Mack. I don't know if Austin Mack has passed Dylan Lonergan. I'm just saying that the third quarterback is Austin Mack within this, short minute of 20-minute footage. So could mean nothing. I have no idea, but just kind of an observation. What else you got, Coach Darryl?
Well, I'll say this before I get off and then somebody else get on. I just think that the period between A-Day and the start of fall camp is going to be crucial for Coach DeBoer, his staff, and his team, because that's when you establish belief in what we're doing on A-Day, but you entrench it as you go toward fall camp. So I want to see what's going to happen during the summer, and I want to see when the other guys that didn't come and be part of fall practice, like Ryan Williams and those other guys, I want to see what they bring and what they add. And I think, and when it's all said and done, a lot of people are going to be shocked that Alabama's going to be right where they're supposed to be, near the top.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you calling in and chatting with me, Coach Darryl. Calling anytime, man. I always appreciate rapping with you.
Always my pleasure, Kyle.
All right, man. Darryl, one of our good callers from Huntsville. We appreciate you guys. Yeah, it was great to see, practice yesterday. And did everybody see the Jalen Milroe interview? Did we all see that? It was excellent. I mean, he did a really good job, getting his point across. And I mean, there was probably, I don't know, I would say it might not have been 50 people, but it was like, I don't know, 30 people probably. And Coach Smook is like right up at the front holding the microphone, and I was kind of in the back. I'm holding the camera, and it works better that way because I know like the audio is the biggest thing during these interviews. So I was happy with the interview. So if you haven't seen the Jalen Milroe interview, go ahead and watch it. And I'll play a quick clip from Jalen Milroe from yesterday.
Good. How y'all doing?
Good. How was practice?
It was good. It was good. Got 1% better. That's all we can ask for, and it was a lot of fun. Just now that we're in practice 13, we're all just trying to climb, all try to achieve the same goal, which is be better each and every day we have practice. So I'm just excited with our offense because everybody's explosive. Whether it's our ones, twos, threes, we have some guys that can make a play with the ball. We're just trying to be hungry and actually starving. Starving to be great, starving to be a championship team. So. I'm just pleased with where we're at because we're trying to keep getting better and keep climbing to the top. So I'm just proud of our guys to keep on working.
What are you most excited about coming Saturday?
The most thing, I'm excited to be in front of our fans, one of the best fans in the whole country. I'm excited for that. I'm also excited because we've been working in the dark. So now it's about to come out to shine on Saturday. So I'm super excited for that, and I'm super excited for the guys, for all the hard work they're doing. This whole spring, so now be able to show it on Saturday.
Jalen, coaches told us that you guys are running like in between 85 to 90 plays throughout the scrimmages. I mean, how has that really pushed you guys to prepare you guys for like a game-like situation?
Absolutely. I think preparation is key because throughout the week you got to take care of your body with nutrition, eating the right things, drinking the right things, but also being in the training room, take care of your body. But our guys have been doing a really good job with that because when it comes Saturday, we're giving our all. And that's what we want. That's what we want to do, play for our coaches, play for our team, play for the state of Alabama. And we're doing that effectively because of what we're doing during the week. So I'm proud of everyone for that. And, it's a lot of reps, a lot of plays you can learn from, a lot of plays that we're doing a really good job at. So all we want to do is get 1% better. But with that comes with our grind during the week.
How has the chemistry been with new offensive coordinator Nick Sheridan?
Absolutely. I think with my time of playing football, this is a special moment for me because Coach Sheridan truly believes in me. And he speaks that every single day. No matter if I make 10,000 passing attempts that are completed, whether I miss a ball, he's saying how proud he is of me, and he comes with positive reinforcement behind the coaching. So this is a special moment for me because of who he is as a person, and I'm still learning and growing because it's that trust factor we have between each other. So I love our relationship because it's constantly growing, and I'm appreciating that. But with our offense, it's been fun. It's been fun for me because I'm able to learn. And that's what the biggest thing I want to do is continue to learn. The day I stop learning and growing is the day I need to stop playing football. So for me, I'm just trying to keep learning. But with that comes with Coach DeBoer, Coach Mitch, who works with the quarterback, Coach Sheridan, our receiver coach. So there's a lot of people that's around me to allow me to be the best quarterback I can be. And so with this offense, it's been fun, and I'm excited for what the future holds.
In what way has the offense pushed you to learn and develop as a quarterback?
Number one is different. I go from 3 years learning one offense to now my senior year learning this offense. So that's going to make me better because it's going to make me expand my horizon when it comes to the scheme and maneuvers and stuff like that. But with the X's and the O's and stuff like that, the biggest thing you got to do is simplify the game of football. And the coaches have been doing a really good job with that. And the biggest thing we want to do is keep climbing, learning new things each and every week that we come to the facility. And so that's the biggest thing we can do is be 1% better. And then at the ultimate goal is to master everything. So for all of us, we're steadily trying to learn, steadily trying to climb. And right now, we can all tell that we need to be better.
With the amount of talent in the wide receiver room and the depth in there, how much confidence has that imposed in you to just continue to push those guys and continue to develop that chemistry?
Number one thing that I see from them, they're self-driven and they're hungry. And they're wanting to get better and they're seeking information. The biggest thing that I see when I'm in the building, I'm seeing them meet with Coach Shepard, our receiver coach, trying to get better, looking over the tape, trying to climb. Got K-Law waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning, coming to the facility, getting all the receivers together to watch tape and steadily try to get better. And that's something that you need in the room. Every room needs a leader. Every room needs to have shared success, and that's what the receiver group has. Out here at practice, it was a lot of explosive plays that happened at practice. And the first thing I saw was that everyone was celebrating with each other, whether the offensive line, whether it were the receivers, the running backs, quarterbacks. So we have shared success in each of the rooms. So that's one thing I can say about the receiver, but they're all explosive, they're all hungry, and they come with different ages. But it doesn't matter, because when you get on the field, they all play explosive.
What's your early read on Jeremy Bernard? What does he bring to the table?
Man, I like Jeremy a lot. Great size, great speed, tough, confident. And when you have a player that plays confident, it's hard to stop him. It's hard to stop him, but I'm proud of him because of the leader he is when he came here. Because it's a hard transition. You come from Washington, now here, different environment. You're now in the South. He's not from the South, so to see where he is now, he's been effective leader, effective player, and I'm super proud of him of who he is as a person. But then as a player, he's great. He's great for us, and he's a great resource for our team to be successful.
For the transfers that have come in and some of the younger guys, the early enrollees, what have you told them about what to expect on an A-Day, what it's like to kind of treat the tradition behind it?
Man, so for me, I missed my A-Day freshman year. And so for them, I told them to soak up all the time that you have, your first A-Day, because it's a special moment. Because I remember my first one was sophomore year, and it was great because that was the first opportunity to be in Bryant-Denny Stadium with the fans there, before we touched our first game of that transitional year. So it's a great opportunity to be in front of your fans and then display all the hard work you've been doing in the offseason. So for them, I want them to soak up all the information and go out there and have fun and be free.
Sort of along those lines, can you think back to last year at this time and you were still in a fight for the job, and now you come back as the starter, you're going to put your handprints and footprints at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Can you remember the difference?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. The biggest thing you have to do is trust the process with everything. And through the process, although it can be hard, there's one person that gives me my strength, and it is my Lord and Savior. Because during the process, it can be weary. It can be times where it can be hard. But the biggest thing you got to do is stay grounded and stay close to your short-term goals and long-term goals. So I'm super excited through the process because I've been able to learn, and where I am now, I'm even a better quarterback. So like I said, the day I stopped learning, the day I stopped trying to be the best quarterback, that's the day I need to stop playing football. So I'm super excited for what the future holds because I have a great supporting system around me.
We go back to we got Ty Hayes up in the building. Let's get Ty slotted on in 1 second, Ty. Hey, good morning, Ty. What's up, buddy? Good morning. Glad to have you here.
What's going on?
I feel like we're like a little every day. You seem like you just lower down just like a little bit. See how I'm like
chair,
up here?
Man. It's the chair. The hydraulics on it decided to. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Right. Let's see if we can switch. Let's see. Does that look better? Don't we have another one where it's a little bit wider? I thought we had like a 2-frame shot where it was like a little bit.
Let's try this one. Is that better?
Yeah. Okay. Do I need to like drink down a little bit?
No, you're good.
Ty, what's up, man?
Oh, same old, same old. What's going on?
We had practice yesterday, and it was a great opportunity. I'm sure you watched the videos and stuff like that. So, any questions that you have, after watching, the practice highlights that you have for me, or going into this final, or any observations that you have, yourself from watching practice or listen? Like, number one, that's a damn good. How could you not love, like, Ty is great too. He's a great interview, but like Jalen Milroe, how could you not just love him as a human?
Yeah, he's a really good. He has really good like presence.
His aura is like just beaming, right?
Yeah, hard not to like him. So not too many questions, just because I think we've gotten into that point where we've asked the questions, we've had the conversations, and now it's just the waiting period. I would like to hear your take on the wide receivers, though.
Yeah, I think so. That was Jeremy Renard catching the pass right there. Man, I get it. It's easy. I mean, if I was running routes right here, I wouldn't drop any passes either. I mean, it's catching the football, it's easy to do. It looked clean though, because I watched it was how they had it. They had the running backs, they had the tight ends, they had the wide receivers. Everybody was just catching passes, and a simple task, but an important task, and they were doing that. And what was really impressive was the tempo of practice. See, and what I was doing. So I'm holding. This is off my phone, and I'm just kind of panning back and forth. And it was really fluid. Here's Robbie Oots. Look at that. Oh, that's a tough catch right there. What he did.
His head was like all the way.
Yeah. You go try that.
Yeah.
Right. So I was impressed. I mean, the wide receivers look like, and this was probably the closest that we've seen the wide receivers at a practice availability, because, and I knew it was going to work out like this because yesterday here in Tuscaloosa, it rained the entire day. So I already knew going into it that we are going to have an indoor practice, just because it poured all day yesterday. It's supposed to rain here on Wednesday as well. So when you're in here, you get an opportunity to be right by the wide receivers, but also right by the running backs. So as practice kind of closed up for our, viewing period, which was probably like under 20 minutes, I was right by the running backs. And I mean, those guys are it. It's amazing to see Justice Haynes, his footwork, Jam Miller, his presence. It's great. And Kareem Hood is saying that the music and the tempo, yeah, you have Biggie playing, you have Outkast, you have, all your favorites are rolling through, but it's very up tempo throughout the practice.
Yeah, you talked a bit about the running backs. What's standing out to you there?
Man, look, Justice Haynes, it's crazy. And I'll try to get to a clip of Justice Haynes that I have. This is him right here. So just watch this make you miss right here. Oh, that's him catching a pass. Let me see if it's before here. It might be up here. It's amazing to see Justice Haynes. Here he is, number 22 on your left. Just kind of the speed that he has overall. He really stands out. I can't wait. Like, he's probably over the last couple of years about the excitement of getting to see players. He's probably like among a player I'm the most excited to see. Jam Miller right there, number 26. And then this is Richard Young catching the pass right here. So the running backs look amazing. This is Austin Mack, your quarterback, 6'6", throwing. Damn, that was a nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that was a nice throw.
Yeah.
And then you have Dylan Lonergan right here. See, that's why I'm saying he was a third quarterback. And this is Daniel Hill, who's a freshman who just got here. Like that guy who just got the pass right there is like 230 pounds, and he should still be in high school.
Yeah.
Like, he just got here. This might be the clip right here. I'm looking for one of these clips to where Justice Haynes gets the football. This would be like out of a pistol formation. He gets the football and he just does a little bit, something with his feet, but it stands out to me. Oh, this is another pass to the outside. But you get my point, Ty. The running back, I'm excited about the running back room, man.
Yeah, a lot to be excited about because, as you alluded to, it's not just Justice Haynes. It's not just Jam Miller. You have Richard Young, who I have often said might be one of the more underrated players on this team. I think he's going to really show out. And then you have Daniel Hill, who, according to what I've heard, Kyle, he's making a strong case to be played as a freshman, right? He's going to make it very hard to keep him off the field, which is exactly what you want to hear. That's exciting news. So no shortage of talent in the running back room.
Yeah, and you still don't have, like you said, Kevin Riley, who hasn't joined the team yet. You have Ryan Williams coming on from the wide receiver position. You have Amari Jefferson. You have Rico Scott. A lot of additional added elements that are yet to be here. But I think when you look to this running back room, as of right now, Richard Young is very talented. This is that clip right here. So the clip is coming up when they reverse and they're going into the end zone. You'll see what I mean in terms of like that fast twitch kind of make you miss ability. And all of these running backs, and I think that even Nick Sheridan said they're good. They're really good. And I've heard the same thing about Daniel Hill. Getting to see Daniel Hill, this is Richard Young right here, number 25. Getting to see a player like Daniel Hill, who is just look at him.
Yeah,
he's a big dude. Okay, so this
Carries
is
the weight well.
100%. So I want everybody to understand. While I think the quarterback room is going to flourish, I think that Jalen's going to have a big year. This is the play I'm talking about. Look at this. Do you see that? Just like that. That tells me so much. Don't forget about the running backs within this offense. These guys are going to get fed. There's going to be a 1,000-yard running back on this team. I don't know if it's going to be Justice Haynes. I don't know if it's going to be Jalen Milroe. I think that they're both going to be used a lot. I think that Richard Young is going to see the field. I think that Daniel Hill, I wouldn't be surprised if he sees the field as well. So, it's been a little bit since Alabama has had a 1,000-yard running back. Who was the last one to do it? Was it Brian Robinson? Right? I guess we'd have to look. My point is the running backs are going to get fed. Loved what I saw, from that room. And it's great to see Coach Robert Gillespie. I think I have some more footage in the back. These are the running back. This is a cool drill. So check this out. So what they do is they put a resistance band. This is, I'll go full screen on this. They put a resistance band on Justice Haynes, and then he has to go through the other running backs, and they basically like try to rip the ball from him. Right. So this is kind of an explosion drill. Check this out. It's cool, right?
I like that.
Yeah, so he does that. That's the first time that I'd seen that drill under Coach Gillespie. But there's this other drill coming up that you'll see here in a second, where you see the footwork of Justice Haynes. Ty, I think you saw it on Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I retweeted it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the support. but my point is, like, someone said inside the comment box, like the typewriter type feet. You'll see it here in just a second. I was trying to get a clip of like the offensive lineman, but the running backs were like right in front of me.
I kind of like it inside.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, because you have like there's not as much like blocking your view, right?
100%. So look, these were the centers, and I was kind of zoomed in there's Coach Kapilovic to your right, but then the running backs, they were right in front of me. So I had to go back to the running backs, and what you're going to see here in a second is the footwork I was talking about with Justice Haynes. I mean, honestly, I think it's the best they do it. MC Hammer. I think it's the best footwork that I've seen. You're going to see it here in a second. So I'm excited about Justice Haynes. I mean, here it is right here. So he's in front of Robert Gillespie. This is closest to us. And look at these feet. Chop, 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 chop. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Go try that. Seriously, everyone stand up right now and stand up and try to do that. All right? And film yourself and send it to us. Bama football fans tried to emulate Justice Haynes. Ty?
Yeah, listen, this running back room, there's a reason why whenever you asked me about offensive MVP, it was hard for me not to name a running back, right? Just because, for multiple reasons. First and foremost, very talented. But secondly, and maybe the more pertinent reason, is that whenever you're installing a new system, it's probably going to be the easiest for the running backs to pick up this system, right? Because their job is going to remain largely the same. Like, yes, there's going to be different intricacies in terms of maybe how the blocking schemes happen, and that's going to change the way they read and react. But at the same time, for them, it's still playing football. Right. For them, it's still finding the crease. For them, it's still being patient, letting the blocks develop, and then attacking wherever that may be. So that's why whenever we were talking the other day, I believe it was Monday, about offensive MVPs, it was hard for me not to instantly go to the running back room. New scheme, which means they're probably going to be the guys to pick this up the quickest. And two, it's just really talented. I mean, top to bottom, really talented. And then, like we said, Kevin Riley coming in. That guy is really, really talented as well. Alabama's running back room remains one of the deeper rooms in college football, especially at that position.
Yeah, don't forget about Kevin Riley. Thanks for pointing him out. He's from Tuscaloosa County High School, which isn't too far, from where I live, and it's not far from the university. So it's good to get him. He was originally committed to Miami before he decommitted and flipped to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Anything else that kind of stood out when you're watching this film or the interview with Jalen Milroe, Ty?
No, listen, Jalen Milroe doesn't surprise me whenever he gets on the mic, right? And
Yeah.
multiple reasons. One, I always go back to this moment. Nick Saban retires. There's nothing but uncertainty for Alabama. Jalen Milroe walking into the facility stops and says, "But I'm not going anywhere."
Mm.
I mean, that right there, he'd already been great on the mic before that, but that just kind of lets you know that, like, I
Yeah.
bleed crimson. I know there's uncertainty, but let me be a beacon of certainty in a sea of uncertainty,
Yeah.
right? And I think that right there was really powerful. But secondly, Kyle, just being because I'm from Texas, because I don't know his trainers, like the guys he worked with in the Houston area when he was
Yeah.
there, but I do know people who work with both MLB players. Like, it's
Mm.
actually crazy. The guy's on a beach all the time with Major League Baseball players training them, and college quarterbacks who knows those guys that have been around Jalen Milroe, that have
Yeah.
helped coach him up. And whenever he committed, I just remember Texas fans, some of the content creators I know that are Texas fans, they reached out to me and said, "Hey, we messed up. That's a dude y'all just got." And I'll never forget this quarterback trainer telling me, he said, "Ty, for as great of an athlete as he is, he's an even better person."
Mm.
They said they just love being around him. They love his work ethic. They love his diligence. They love being around him. They love coaching him up. And they thought that it would be a really successful translation, right? I am really excited to see what he does now that, once again, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but he now has quarterback coaches.
Mm.
That's huge.
Mhm.
Absolutely huge. Not only for him, but for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a really good interview yesterday, and we chopped it up earlier talking about just the confidence that Sheridan has in Milroe and the quarterback room as a whole. So I can't wait to see these guys continue to develop, not only on Saturday, whatever we see on Saturday, but going forward into the season. As we kind of wrap up my part of the segment, Ty, any observations from the defense or things that kind of are on your mind, kind of leading into a day that you're watching?
No, I mean, listen, I've talked about two players on the defensive side that I'm very excited about. One being the transfer Keon Sapp, but two, Red Morgan.
Yes.
And that's someone who just continues to impress. I
Yeah.
know that the job isn't won yet, but at the point, ladies and gentlemen, where a true freshman, someone who should be at prom, is manning that position and doing so very well. I mean, yes, the Alabama secondary, it's a little bit thin in terms of you'd like some more room for depth, but the talent is there. And the fact that he's repping the way he is, the fact that he's making the plays the way he is, that's something you got to be very excited about. What have you seen from this defensive back room?
Yeah, I think, I've seen some good leadership from these coaches. It's great. I was wondering how it was going to work with Colin Hitchler and Mo Linquist both being in the secondary, but now I fully understand it. And being able to watch it at practice is amazing to see, the tempo that the defensive has as well in the secondary. And I think that's what the Alabama secondary needed. The Linquist is the energy guy. Hitchler is a little bit more quiet, but these two together, man, what a combination in that secondary. Add on the fact that Malachi Moore is basically a coach. Like, he was, he was really connected to Coach Saban. Everybody knows that Coach Saban was a secondary coach. Devontae Smith, he comes back, so you have kind of like those vets, along with the added input that you have from Keon Sabb and Damani Jackson. And I think that those guys, along with the coaches, have helped to get up to speed these younger guys that are freshmen. So, look, the secondary, all eyes on the secondary because of all the missing components, but I feel pretty good. Like, if Alabama was to play a game this weekend, I don't know if I feel like 100% confident, but I feel like 85% confident that these guys make some plays. I'm curious to see if Alabama does add someone from the transfer portal to the secondary. In my opinion, I probably would. And that's not to say, I think they just need one more guy that has experience, like playing experience, just to create more competition. Would you agree with that, Ty, or you think they're good at the secondary?
No, listen, football is a physical game. I mean, one thing we need to understand, this is a violent physical game. If one guy, Alabama right now, I love what they have in terms of the guys you could trot out on the field. But this is why I say go get someone. if someone goes down, it goes from like, oh, I really like what we have to okay,
Oh, good point.
they're talented, but man, oh man, like
Mm.
you and we've seen injuries before, Kyle. Like we know that this happens. If you take one injury, you're not in a good position. You take multiple injuries in the secondary, all of a sudden you're looking around like, okay, something's got to shake.
Yeah.
So when I say we need to add depth, it has nothing to do with the talent there. I love the talent is there, but they don't have the experience. And even then, if I'm not mistaken, isn't there only 4 scholarship cornerbacks? Like that's it. You could be in a position where you need 3 cornerbacks on the field, depending on what dime set you're in, right?
Sure.
Depending on whether you're going to add a safety or one of those hybrid guys or a cornerback out there. That's 3/4 of your scholarship roster on the field. Like that's where I'm like, okay, if there was any room I would like to add in a bit more talent, it is that secondary, but it has nothing to do with the talent we have here. It just has to do with the lack of numbers. The talent we have, exceptional. We just don't have the numbers top to bottom that I think many would like.
Yeah, I love it. Really good point out on that. He's Ty Hayes from Around the Table Sports. My name is Kyle Henderson. Please support Ty as you guys would support me on his segment right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming up in the next 30, 40 minutes, you got Coach Smook and Ty, and then it'll be Coach Smook's segment. So definitely support these guys right here on Bama Football on YouTube, along with the other platforms. Ty, you can catch him on the Bleacher Report when you type in Alabama Football or Around the Table Sports, or wherever you find Ty. He's all over the place. You find him on Twitter as well. Does a great job for us right here at Bama Football on YouTube. We're lucky to have him. Ty, I appreciate you hopping on the back end of my segment, man. Have a good segment yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, Ty Hayes from Around the Table Sports up next right here on Bama Football on YouTube.
Appreciate that, Kyle. Always great getting to come in here. Lynn, I saw your message in the chat. I did not see your Twitter message, but I do have a bad habit of checking my Twitter messages around 11 to 12 in the afternoon, only because I'm in so many different college football group chats. I mean, my Twitter notifications are always like I have unlimited messages all the time. But I will be sure to check that out. I apologize for that, Lynn. I'm just in so many different group chats that at any given point, I have like 40 messages, and a lot of it is just, talk. So I can sometimes miss messages that come from individuals. So I'll be sure to check that out. And I was also with the wife yesterday. And to answer your question, Lynn, I will unfortunately not be at A-Day. My wife won Teacher of the Year for her school, right? She hasn't been teaching 5 years, already team lead, won Teacher of the Year. But her parade they're doing here in the city is Friday. And it's Friday evening. And so we're going to go celebrate with her family. And I just wouldn't really have time for a quick turnaround, right? From Denton, Texas to Tuscaloosa the next day. It's just, I need to be there for her, right? Huge accomplishment in her life. And I certainly need to be there for her because she thought she was going to be marrying a prospective attorney. You know what I mean? And then I switched to doing this. And this is a bit different than being an attorney. And all the way through, she was always my number one supporter, number one fan. Anytime that I wavered, she was like, no, you've got this. So anything I can do to be half as supportive of her as she has been for me, I'm going to do it. So unfortunately, I will not be at A-Day. It sucks, but you know what I mean? I got to be there for the wife. It's a huge accomplishment for her. And she's just doing amazing. Thank you. Thank you, everybody in the chat for the congratulations. Yeah, she first grade teacher. So, she comes home tired. And then poor girl, she then has to listen to me talk about football. And boy, especially on Saturdays when I'm watching a college football game, right? She's sitting there. And if it's bad football, she's sitting there scratching my back being like, it's okay, Ty. It's okay, Ty. It's okay, Ty. Yeah, I might, Mark, I've been looking at it just because there's a lot of craziness in the world. And I not to toot my own horn, I have an ability to advocate for people. I have an ability to advocate for people that, I think is uncommon. And so I've always looked at that and thought, maybe maybe I'll be called back just because I always wanted to do constitutional law. And if I'm able to advocate for people, if I'm able to make a difference in people's lives, then that's what I really want to do. That's what I came into this industry to tell the stories of recruits because I've seen what these guys, whenever they get these college offers, what it means for low income areas. Right. I came from a town that was very low income, that had next to no economic opportunity. People stay in that town and it's just good town. Good town. But like it's just not a lot of economic opportunity, not a lot of hope that there's anything greater outside of it. And I watched the transition whenever my two friends got college scholarships, the belief that there was something greater. And I wanted to tell those stories, right? I thought that was very important. But who knows? Who knows? I might be called back to that field just because, you know, I do want to make a difference and help people. If I have the ability to do so, I would like to be able to make a difference in people's lives and help people. Lynn says, Ty, you can do both. That might be school and 100%. It's just, you know, when you're nearly 30 years old like me, it's kind of daunting to think about 3 more years of law school, especially, you know, having a wife and maybe wanting to start a family. So we'll see. We'll see. If I get back into law, I'll just do a legal assistant or a paralegal for a few years and then go back to law school. But I always wanted to go to Cornell for law school. That was always my dream. I used to have the big Cornell law thing back there. Right. Actually, funny story before we jump into some football. My dad, I wanted to go to Cornell because that's where my dad went. And super weird that he went to Cornell and then became a horse trainer afterwards. Right? Like that makes no sense. But my dad had a lot of classes with Ed Marinero. And for those of you who know who Ed Marinero is, it's kind of funny. He and I were messaging each other on Twitter and he actually remembered my dad. And he was like, okay, I'd love to. We were trying to get something worked out to where he'll come on the show. For those of you who don't know who Ed Marinero is, if you watched Blue Mountain State, he's Coach Marty Daniels. He's Coach Marty Daniels. But he and my dad were friends in college. So that's cool. They took wine tasting together, and apparently both of them, you're supposed to spit out the wine. They did not. They always told me about walking through the snow. Matt Farm says, I'm 1 hour from Cornell. Yeah, man, I love it up there. The Finger Lakes, Ithaca, I love it up there. I don't mind the cold, Adam. I don't mind the cold. You got to remember, I've passed out from heat exhaustion. I've passed out from heat exhaustion multiple times, to the point now where I will pass out fairly consistently from heat exhaustion. So the heat really, I mean, it messes me up. It has absolutely messed me up. So let's jump into this. We got a lot to talk about. We have got a lot to talk about. Transfer portal opens up. Recruiting is going to be something to watch, especially with A-Day coming in. Then you have everything to do with A-Day. Demetrius says, can't do the cold. Listen, I understand. How I've always looked at it, Demetrius, is I can always put more clothes on. You know what I mean? Here in Texas, it'll be 152 degrees in the shade, and it doesn't matter if the good Lord above, you know, it's 152 degrees no matter what you do. And of course, it's not 152, but you get my point. It'll be 112. Right? It'll be 112. Okay. Yeah, we might have to bring in a dating game into the undefeated because y'all are cracking me up. Y'all are cracking me up in here. We're going to have to bring in a dating game in here. I'll put on a nice little suit. We'll do the whole thing. We'll do the whole thing. Shane says upstate New York is not a football hotbed. Unfortunately not, man. Unfortunately not. You're 100% right. The Crimson Mingle, Dwight says. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Y'all don't let me mess around and start a dating game in here. I'll do it. Y'all know I'll do it. I'll get a costume. I'll do it. I have no shame. I'm here to entertain. Right? I have no shame. I'm here to have fun. Y'all, gosh, y'all make this fun. Anyways, getting into recruiting, right? I don't have a ton of updates. And that's just because we're at that middle portion of the week. I want to kind of wait until later in the week to wait and see who confirms they'll be visiting, what that looks like, and then we'll dive deeper into recruiting as we get closer. Tomorrow, we'll start really having that conversation. Friday, we'll really start having that conversation. But we can talk about recruiting as a whole for Alabama. How is the Crimson Tide doing? And I still think they're doing very well. This staff is cultivating relationships, maintaining relationships, and that's what this is all about. In the new age of NIL, in the new age of the transfer portal, yes, there are a lot more intricacies to recruiting, but at the end of the day, relationships are still king, right? Especially with the existence of the transfer portal. I would argue, Ronnie, you didn't have to tell everybody, right? We can get the nair out. We can try and fix it. You didn't have to put me on Front Street like that. That's what the nair is for. Produces, New York, man, basketball and boxing. That's why my dad was a boxer. Like, that's where my love of combat sport comes from. But that's what it is. It's New York and it's basketball and boxing. Ties back. Looks like, whoa, man. Okay, Ronnie. That's foul. That's foul. But I would argue, jumping into recruiting, I would argue that in today's climate, in the transfer portal era, that relationships matter now more than ever. Now, why is that? Because if you miss on a kid the first time around, if you don't get that win the first time around, if you maintain that positive relationship, you might be able to get them in the transfer portal. And we must remember, I say this all the time, this staff is coming in here. They are now fighting against teams like a Georgia, like an Ole Miss, like a Texas, that have the benefit of continuity in terms of their relationships, whereas this staff is cultivating relationships. And there is a distinction to be had. There is a large difference between continuing existing relationships and developing new ones. But what we do know about this staff is that they develop these relationships very quickly, very well. And that's why I remain confident. I said this not too long ago. Everybody has always talked about, when is Alabama going to get that 5-star? Well, they have a 5-star in this class. Duke Johnson, ranked number 25th per the 24/7 Sports Composite, and a 5-star. So this coaching staff already has gotten a 5-star on the defensive side in this recruiting class. The question is what work will they do outside of that? And that is an important question. Not going to diminish that, but understand that it is early. I have quite frankly been surprised by how many people that are worried about recruiting. And I understand it. Nick Saban basically granted you access to a top 3 recruiting class every single year. I get that. That's fair. But it's still April. We are still so early in this. I'm not worried about recruiting. I'm not worried about recruiting until we get to August, until we get to September. Now, if you're outside the top 10 in August or September, now we can start worrying. Caleb King says he's around 35 or so on On3. I don't use On3, man. I prefer the evaluators at 247 because typically when I go through and I look, they usually align with how I would rank the prospects. That's not to say anything negative. On3 does a great job, but I typically agree with 24/7 Sports rankings more. And their composite, the 247 Sports composite, has him at number 25. Yeah. See, this is where it gets difficult, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta try and watch chat, not break, and still talk football. For sure, Lynn. That'd be a ton of fun. Ronnie, you're in rare form today, Ronnie. You're in rare form. But this is what makes this both challenging and fun. I got to try and maintain with chat and talk ball at the same time. Travis saying, "Yo, Ty, I'm digging that Noveski hat." Appreciate that, Travis. Appreciate that. I'm a hat person. And for those of you wondering why you don't see more hats, it's because it's easier if I just have like one hat that goes with everything. And if I do that, then it's it's much more linear for me in terms of preparation, in terms of getting in and out of recording different videos and stuff. So that's why you typically only see me in one of two hats, but I have a collection of them. That's why I have my recording clothes and everything, just because it is what it is, right? So recruiting for Alabama, we'll talk about that in more depth tomorrow and Friday once we get access to who's going to be here, once we get more clarity as to what visitors will be here. But I really do think that Alabama's in for a big weekend on the recruiting trail. A-Day under this new staff, people are intrigued. People are going to want to come. They're going to want to see what everybody's putting together. And I think we'll be pleasantly surprised, whether that's exiting the weekend with silence or, just moving the needle or even getting commitments. It is going to be a lot of fun. Mike says, don't do On3 anymore. Seem to change to me. Well, no, listen, On3 is great. Like when I say I prefer 247, it has nothing to do with On3 is great. They've got great team reporters. They've got great podcast hosts. Love JD. JD Piquel and I used to do content together before he got picked up by On3. I really like Hayes. Hayes and I will talk. Not all the time, but every now and then we'll exchange text. We'll hop on the phone with each other. Good dude. Really, really good kid. Really, really good kid. So I really like On3. It's just I've always preferred 24/7 Sports. And part of that is a loyalty thing to Josh Pate. Right? Like I'm always going to put 24/7 Sports out there because Josh Pate was the first media personality to recognize me and say like, hey, check out his content. And so because of that, I always am going to defer to 24/7 Sports. But that's to say nothing against On3. They do a phenomenal job. They do a fantastic job, have great people. Yeah, that's a personal thing for me. It's just I like, and I grew up with 24/7 Sports. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a nostalgia thing. It's much more to do with that than anything else. It's that's what it is. Right. That's why even on my content, you always hear me say per the 24/7 Sports composite. That's where I go to. Pate is very good. Pate's the gold standard, man. Pate's the gold standard. And I always say this, as great of a content creator as he is an even better person, which is wild. He was driving back, I forget from where one time, and he stayed on the phone with me for like an hour and a half. And just really, really giving me a lot of advice, talking me up. And I really appreciate that to this day. To this day. I'll always have kind of a loyalty to Josh Pate. So, yeah, that's another reason, right? And if I wanted, and that's where I really wanted to work, was 24/7 Sports. I was really hoping they would offer me something to be on their, I was really hoping they'd offer me like a podcast slot or something so that I could come on there and do around the table sports over there. And that way I had a whole vision, right, for what I wanted to do for some of these major corporations. Unfortunately, I don't know that it will end up happening, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk transfer portal. Because we've already seen craziness in the transfer portal, ladies and gentlemen. The 16th is not here. We are already seeing craziness. Craziness in the transfer portal. We've seen a running back that was going to be pushing for one of the top running backs in the nation. Damian Martinez out of Oregon State. I mean, he is uber talented. For those of you that watched a lot of Pac football this year, you'll know who I'm talking about. Very talented guy. He's hitting the transfer portal. You then had some smoke with Bear Alexander. Now, the interesting thing with Bear Alexander Ronnie, I see you. Don't think I don't see you. Okay. Again, at some point, I'm going to have to put something over the undefeated because a few of you, Ronnie, Jor, Moon Rocka, you've really started to understand how to break me in terms of making me laugh, and y'all just go. In fairness, though, I laugh very easily. It's always been a blessing and a curse. Todd, my man, P to you as well. P to you as well. So the transfer portal is going to just absolutely erupt this week, ladies and gentlemen. And whenever we see the thing about Bear Alexander, there are some interesting reports out there on that. Whether or not he leaves USC remains to be seen, right? The graphic came down. He's entering the transfer portal. But in the wee hours of the night, you were starting to get reports that said, hey, will he leave or will he stay? Portal opens Saturday, right? No, sir, Travis. It opens on the 16th, and then it stays open from the 16th until the 30th of April. From the 16th till the 30th of April. I had originally thought it was the 15th to the 30th, but I was mistaken. I was wrong. It goes from the 16th to the 30th. I guess it opens up at midnight, so technically the 16th. Larry said, I see around 8 to 10 guys leaving us. What do y'all think? I think that it will be less than that, Larry. I would imagine half. I'd imagine half of that. Oh, 100% Kareem. I was just bringing his name up to point out the craziness that's about to happen. Not that he's coming to Bama. I was just bringing up Damian Martinez, highlighting the fact that one of the top running backs in the nation is still moving, right? Not to say that Alabama gets him. Alabama is really solid at the running back position. There will be no work. I would be shocked if that's a position they look at. People saying, I'd say maybe 3 or 4, 5 to 8. See, this is where I am. I'd say between 3 to 5 is about where I am. That's about what I'm doing. Anyone know where I can get a signed pic of Ty asking for a friend? I'm not worth having a signed picture over, my man. I'm not worth having a signed picture over, though. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. There's a lot more people out there that are worth a signed picture of, and it's certainly not me. I'm just a dude that talks into a mic, nothing more. That's the extent of my status. Secondary depth is what we need. I completely agree, Kareem. I completely agree. I really do believe there are a few names that we will see hit the transfer portal from other schools. I'm watching a few schools very closely. Watching a few schools really closely because I believe that Alabama will be on the receiving end of some great news in terms of defensive backs coming in. I have nothing to confirm that. That's just a feeling. Like I always tell all of you in the undefeated, I'm no insider. I'm a fanalist through and through, right? I'm no insider. I read tea leaves, and that's about that. But I do believe, kind of having sat back and observed and just played some logic games, I do believe that Alabama is going to get some wins. And in particular, there are 2 or 3 names that I'm hoping will enter the transfer portal. And if they do, we'll have that conversation. You guys know me. I don't want to put anything out there. It's not my place to say who will enter the transfer portal, who I think will enter the transfer portal. I'm not here to break news. I'm here to talk about news that's already been broke, right? It's not my place to say anything before a player gets their say. But if the names do enter the transfer portal next week, I will let you know, hey, this was a guy I was talking about. Hey, this was a guy I was talking about. We'll have that conversation. But I do believe Alabama will be on the receiving end of some big wins in the secondary via the transfer portal. And I'm really excited about it. Maybe some names that may not be crazy household names, but for my football gals out there, you'll know. You'll know. Juwan, are you talking about the, you said me on the other stream last night, were you talking about how I was making fun of Auburn? It comes easy. It comes easy. They make it easy. The Auburn spring game attendance. Yeah, that's one thing, ladies and gentlemen. We need to make sure that Alabama's spring game attendance looks good. Unfortunately, I will not be there, and I'm really upset about that. But it is what it is. Hit that like button while y'all are in here. We're at apparently 110. We need to be at least 150, as I say every time. Undefeated or any of you in Tuscaloosa right now, I thirst drinks over lunch. Anybody in the Undefeated that wants to take Lynn up on this offer, be sure to hit him up. Lynn, I hope you had a good time whenever you were out in Arizona, my man. I hope you got to meet a bunch of the people that are in the Undefeated. I hope everybody that went had a great time. I think it was really cool how you were trying to organize something that Friday before the game. I think that was really, really cool. Dwight, are you saying 2 quarterbacks will enter the portal? Looks like Lonergan and one more. I hope Lonergan doesn't enter. But, this is the nature of the game. This is the nature of the game. I did not, Ronnie. I did not. Auburn baseball lost to Alabama State Hornets last night. See, I don't keep up with a whole lot of baseball, sweet home. So we'll talk more about the transfer portal. What rooms would y'all like to see depth added in? We've talked about defensive back. We know that. But what other rooms would y'all like to see? I think the addition of I hope. D-line, Adam says. I can understand that, Adam. Offensive tackle, Batman says. Tackle, O-line. All valid answers, Batman, Cynthia. Travis says, wide receiver is another spot we need more of. See, Travis, while I understand, I think I might be in the minority in this in saying I think that the wide receivers are going to really surprise people, and I think it's multifaceted. Here's what I mean when I say that. So already right now you have Jeremy Bernard, who is really impressing. You have Kendrick Law, who we know is going to get his in this offense. You have Kobe Prentice, right? Already those 3 right there, very excited about. Emmanuel Henderson continues to progress. Very excited to see what he can do. Very athletic guy, versatile athlete. I think he's going to shine some this year. But then you also have Cole Adams. And I don't want people to lose sight of Cole Adams. Cole Adams has got a lot of ability. Cole Adams would have been rated much higher coming out of high school had he not gotten hurt his first or second game into his senior year. I mean, the guy is a legit athlete. If I'm not mistaken, he has a sub 10.7 100-meter dash as a junior in high school. Yeah, Juwan, you're 100% right. Slotty Pippen. That's how I've always referred to Cole. And then you have Adam. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Good morning, Shawnee. You have Caleb Odom as well, who is going to prove to be really hard to keep off the field. And here's what I mean when I say that. Caleb Odom has an attribute that you can't teach. You can't just get. That's being 6'5". Now we can talk about how athletic he is, how great. All of those conversations still stand. But let's just talk about the one thing you can't teach, and that's being 6'5". Now, why do I say that grants him an ability to get on the field? It's because in the red zone, he is an automatic mismatch. If this offense under Kalen DeBoer wanted to run some 12 personnel, 2 tight end sets, imagine this. You're in the red zone. Maybe you have Daniel Hill at running back, an absolute bruiser, though any of the running backs on Alabama's roster would suffice. No doubt about that. Right? Any of them. And let's say you're running 12 personnel. So maybe you have CJ Dippre and Danny Lewis out there. Well, then you also have Caleb Odom on the outside. That is so much size that a defense now has to account for. And on top of that, you have Daniel Hill in the backfield, who in my situation is going to be a red zone back, right? Because of his physicality. And we know the one thing NFL likes, they like to try and devalue running backs based on usage. And that's something that's proved to be very positive for some of the Alabama running backs here recently, is the fact that they're not entering in the NFL with like 3,000 carries. The fact that the NFL scouts look at them and say, okay, you had unbelievable production relative to your usage, right? That's one of the beautiful things about having a deep backfield. So whenever we look at this right now, that's where I say Caleb Odom, he's going to be very hard to keep off the field because in red zone packages, you can get him in there. He's an instant mismatch. And I don't know at what rate this staff will run 12 personnel, but let's pretend that they do run 12 personnel. You could have Dipper, you could have Danny Lewis out there, and you could have Caleb Odom, who is now a wide receiver and a tight end body with wide receiver athleticism and attributes. Boy, that's tough for a defense, right? If you're a defensive coordinator, you're looking at that and you're like, man, how do we go about trying to stop this? Because if they want to run super heavy and just run it right up the middle, they have a lot of beef on that offensive line. They have a lot of beef on the interior. If they want to do jump ball, you have Danny Lewis, you have CJ Dippre, you have Caleb Odom. Go get the jump ball. That's where this gets really tricky. And that's not to even put out the other wide receivers that could be out there pulling resources. So Caleb Odom is someone who I think will be hard to keep off the field just because he is going to create opportunities to get on the field. And if he maximizes those opportunities, he's not going to be taken off the field very much. So so you have Caleb Odom. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't even talked about the guys coming in or a Jaron Hamilton, who Jaron Hamilton has been very impressive from what I've been told, has really started to get it, is really starting to make plays. So you still have a Jaron Hamilton on there. And then you have Amari Jefferson, who I thought was one of the more underrated players of last year's cycle, thought he was exceptionally talented. You have a Rico Scott coming in, and you have Ryan Williams. So I might be in the minority here, but I think that wide receiver I think that that's a lot of talent in that room. I don't know that Alabama will look to add any more there. I think we're going to be very pleasantly surprised with the talent in the room. And that's to even say, like, we haven't talked about a name that y'all know I have been so excited about, and it's just super unfortunate he got injured. That's Jalen Hale. I mean, he comes back healthy, and we're already talking about a room that I'm very excited about. It just goes up a level, right? Ty, how do you feel about the corner from Arizona, Takario Davis? Yeah, very, very intrigued by Takario Davis's film. I need to go and really watch some Arizona film. I need to go and see how much of the all-22 I have from Arizona, especially defensively, but offensively as well. I'd really like to watch some McMillan and Fafita. Right? They were a crazy, entertaining tandem to watch play football. Really like to see some film on them. But from the games I have watched of Arizona, Takario Davis has got a lot of attributes that you'd really like to add in to any secondary in the nation. Interested to see what ends up happening with him, but there are a few defensive backs out there, Jay DeGoat, I am looking at. And once they hit the portal, we'll certainly have more in-depth conversations. There is a certain defensive back out there, that if he hits the portal, I am going to be excited. Very excited. Very excited. Very talented player. Really productive. Super productive. And he has ties to the staff. That's all I'm going to say. Moving forward. We had some people say offensive line. Yeah, listen, offensive line, offensive tackle, offensive line. Mike Coleman says punter, kicker. You know, Mike, unfortunately, I'm not super versed in the punter and kicker situation. I know that you have Talty. I know that you have some guys there pushing, but I don't know necessarily about the punter. We'll see what that looks like. But that could be an area. That could certainly be an area. Talking about offensive line, here's the only issue, Todd. And I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. The only issue is getting quality offensive linemen via the transfer portal is one of the toughest positions to find a guy at. Not saying it can't happen. I mean, listen, Alabama fans will know. You look at Landon Dickerson. You can get in really high quality transfer offensive linemen. My point is if we're creating a list about transfers who go on to have immense success, I would be very intrigued to see the rate of offensive linemen move on to instantly have a ton of success. Now, if a quality offensive lineman enters, Ronnie, you okay, buddy? Get some black pepper. Black pepper will help you out, man. Goodness gracious. I was right in the middle of a soliloquy, and then I see that message pop up, and I love y'all. I love being here so much. Thank you all. Thank you all for allowing me this platform. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, T, for allowing me this platform. Man, that's hey, Van Gogh, fantastic mixtape though by Wiz way back in the day. Fantastic mixtape. Not enough people talk about that one. Great mixtape by Wiz Khalifa. Still on the playlist, actually. So I agree with you, Todd. I agree with everybody who said offensive line. I think you're all well placed. I would be very excited if we could get some really quality offensive linemen via the transfer portal, but those usually are few and far between. Few and far between. Van Gogh, if you want a good mixtape, you might have heard it, but I'll give you one right now. It's kind of a more Made in America Part 2. Ransom and Nicholas Craven, I believe. Nicholas Craven being the producer. Check that one out. Really easy listen. Quick mixtape. I believe it lasts 16 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. So it's one that you can listen to, but really nice. Really nice. Very easy listen. I really enjoyed that project. Really, really enjoyed that one. So offensive lineman. You got Caden Proctor coming in. Again, he did... No, not Jabbar Muhammad. Not Jabbar Muhammad. Muhammad's going to be a dog, though. That guy is super talented. I'd have loved it if Alabama were to get him. It's not him, though. Well, like I said, if he enters his name into the transfer portal, we'll talk about it. Well, I mean, really, it's one of those guys, if they enter their name into the transfer portal, you'll know. Because I'll be like, hey, that's him. That's who I really want to get on this roster. It's not a super... Jabbar Muhammad's a bigger name. Having said that, though he is a bigger name, Will Johnson's a bigger name than the guy I'm talking about, Cash. Having said that, though, I don't think that the quality of play is any diminished from Jabbar Muhammad or Will Johnson. I think he's right up there. He's a very, very gifted cornerback. I need to go do more film studies on him, but he's a very gifted player, very productive player. But it's not Johnson, and not to say that they won't have movement there. I don't know. That's not my contention here. It's just that's not the guy I have in mind. So we'll see. We'll see. I got to leave y'all on the edge of your seats, though, don't I? Right? I mean, I got to leave you wanting more, right? You give the people enough, but you always leave them wanting more. Now, someone said defensive line. That's an interesting one. That's a very interesting one. That conversation is typically much the same as offensive line, though, in my opinion, I think you can get more defensive linemen via the transfer portal to instantly come in than offensive linemen. Offensive line is a very finicky position. Very finicky position. That's just teasing. Hey. It is what it is. It is what it is. Because like I said, Poetic, I don't want to put anything out there and start rumors because this is just me looking at a player who I think is really talented and being like, hey, if you are to enter the transfer portal, I'm interested in seeing it. That Washington player saying Kalen DeBoer. Those things, Hunter, as someone who worked in the legal field, those things are multifaceted, right? Horrible situation, but it's not just Kalen DeBoer, right? Like there's a Title IX office that they have to work with. There is There's the police department that they have to work with. And right now we're in the infancy stage of information. So I would always caution against jumping into judgments whenever we're still gathering information, right? Whenever we're still gathering information. So it's one of those things. Just know though that it's not as simple as a lot of these Twitter people are making this seem, where it's like, oh, it's his. That's not how this goes. That's not how this goes. It's very multifaceted. You have Title IX offices involved, and so I'll certainly be keeping an eye on it. Looked for some information today. We'll see. It's just very early in the stage of the information gathering process. I thought it was innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, no doubt it is, Hunter. It's, there were allegations. Whether or not they knew of the allegations remains to be seen. I understand that Grubb said that he was suspended for off the field issues, but for all we know, he could have been a knucklehead in class, right? Like he could have started a fight, and that's why he was suspended. And then the allegations, as they picked up more steam, then they've come to light. So we just don't know the situation right now. That's why I always advise caution. For any of these situations, whether they're related to Alabama or not, whether they have any bearing for our favorite teams or not, always let the facts come out. Always let the facts come out. We'll see what it looks like in a week, 2 weeks. Terrible situation. But we'll let the facts come out and then maybe have a deeper conversation on it once those facts come out, right? So that's that. Talking about the defensive line, I didn't want to just not say anything about your comment though, Hunter, because it is a very serious conversation, but it's one where we need to wait and see what happens, what information comes out, the whole 9 yards. Don't say the G word. So, looking back at the transfer portal, guys, I am going to be very interested what moves they make. There is, what happens with Bear Alexander. Now, the question, I know there was a lot of people talking about Bear. We'll have that conversation. I just don't think, I don't know what to think there. Because now USC seems fairly confident that he's not leaving. Any chance another player who left comes back to us? Maybe, Larry. If I'm not mistaken, I think there were some people hinting that it could happen. I'm thinking there's some people hinting that it could happen, but I don't know. I don't know as to who it could be, anything like that. I've always said, Larry, and I wear this on my chest. I'm a fanlist, right? I'm not an insider. Smook is an insider, right? He's an insider. I just don't care to not do the work. I just much rather be a fanalist, right? I'd much rather talk about the game from a top-down approach, read tea leaves, be wrong, and then learn as to why I was wrong. That's just how I view it. But Smook is an insider, no doubt about that. He does such a good job cultivating relationships, all of that, talking to these recruits, making them feel welcome. So that might be a better question for Smook, Larry, because he has that inside knowledge. I'm just, like I said, I'm a fanalist. I'm just a dude with a microphone. That's why I told Tony earlier, you don't need a signed picture of me, my man. I'm just a dude with a microphone. That's it. The best Bear college football player is Bear Woods, linebacker from Troy. Check him out. I will be sure to do that. I make tea all the time, and I haven't got to read any tea leaves. It's difficult, Caleb. It's difficult. All right? It's difficult. I had to take a few classes at Hogwarts in divination, trying to read tea leaves. I'm a nerd. Y'all should know I was going to make some sort of reference. And you guys just wait. I still have something planned for the transfer portal when it opens up. I have some rowdiness planned for that. I'm hoping Jance doesn't leave me hanging. Because I swear to you, if I come into that stream and Jance leaves me hanging, I'm going to be irate. Oh, Hogwarts. Don't do me like that, Caleb. So let's dive into the transfer portal, or not the transfer portal. I apologize. Let's transition from the transfer portal to A-Day. Right? We've had some conversations about A-Day. Of course, we will continue having conversations about A-Day as we get closer to the date. What are all of you in the undefeated looking to see? What are you hoping to see? What are you expecting to see? What worries do you have? What excitements do you have? Hop down and let me know. As y'all are typing that out, I'll go ahead and let you know what I'm excited to see. Andrea, thank you for coming in. Doesn't matter when you come in, you've came and hanging out with the undefeated. Barbecue nachos. Hey, that's a valid answer, Caleb. That is a valid answer. I'm not mad at that answer one bit. Not mad at that answer one bit. For me, I'm excited to see how these guys are developing on the interior of this defensive line. I think that's an area I'm really excited about. I think that if you have development that we expect from a James Smith, from a Vernard, from an Edric Hill, from a Payne, from a Jamarian Latham, right? All those guys right there. I think we're going to be in a really good position on this interior defensive line. That's why I'm probably less concerned with adding anybody via the transfer portal, because I think we have something on the interior defensive line. YouTube Bama, thank you for coming in here, my man. Cynthia says, I want to see the quarterback progression. 100% natural. 100% natural. Though I will say this. We are less than 6 months in. So there will be progression. But understand we're still very, very much well in the infancy of the things being implemented, quarterbacks progressing. We're still in the infancy phase. The fact that we're hearing quarterbacks progressing this early is awesome, but still very much well in the infancy phase of all of this. Secondary for sure, and the fluidity of the offense. 2 great answers, Caleb. Secondary is going to be really intriguing to watch. Hopefully Zay Mincy, all those guys out there ready to go. Don't know what the status of his injury was, but I don't think it's serious. I think we would have heard something if it was serious. I think it's best to practice caution in these situations where you know that a guy's very talented. Let him get healthy. Love that that's what they're doing. But the secondary is a great answer. Pass protection, Larry Large says, oh, that is the answer. That is the answer. Now, I'm interested in the offensive line play, Larry, because you had the injury to Roberts and because you still have, some uncertainty at the tackle positions. What does this look like? I will be understanding if the offensive line doesn't look like a world beater during A-Day, but that is the biggest question I have in terms of the whole team. My biggest question going into the 2024 season is not the secondary, it's the offensive line. That's my biggest question. Do we have any idea who is and is not participating in A-Day? I do not, Big Bama Brand, but if I get that, and if I will certainly talk about that. See Jalen be more decisive when it comes to staying in the pocket when it's time to scramble. Yeah, listen, that's 100%. Jalen has got an unbelievable ability to use his legs as an asset, not only in terms of just making plays happen with his legs, but using his legs as an extension of the passing game. It's something we saw Bryce do phenomenally. And I'm really excited to see how he continues to utilize that. The O-line will be makeshift 100%. I wouldn't be shocked, David, about offensive line via the portal. My question is always more of the quality of offensive linemen in the portal, because it's very difficult to get just quality offensive linemen from the portal. They're few and far between. Not saying that they're not there, but there's very few of them relative to other positions, right? Very few of them. James says, you won't see Roberts, won't see Campbell. I assume Mincy got dinged up. Hale, of course, which I can't hardly why nobody has updated his condition and prognosis. You just let him do his thing. You know what I mean, James? It's one of those things where they'll update it when they update it. But until then, it is what it is. Coach, what's going on? What's going on?
A lot.
Oh, good news?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of that I told you so vibe today about, I love when people keep just coming at us like they do. And we just keep saying, okay, just wait. And then it just, Caleb Cunningham just hit me up. So it was pretty cool talking to him.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Cunningham is one I've been on the lookout for a while. Very talented wide receiver, lifting him from Mississippi. That'll be the challenge, right? But if anybody can do it, it's certainly Alabama. It's certainly the staff.
I'm just saying. I had to do it one time, man. You know, I like watching God do what God do in these situations, and you know, it is what it is. What up, chat?
Caleb says, "Oh, nice to know Mississippi State for him." We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
I mean, Alabama's firmly in the race, no doubt about it. Right.
After the last visit, y'all remember I told y'all this visit would make or break a lot of things. That hometown hero story is not as strong of a vibe now. After you've come in and had a serious conversation with the staff who now understands what they have to work with, what they have to offer as far as what they are putting on the table in this program. Not what Coach Saban did, what Coach Saban set up, but what they're projecting, what they're able to do. And relationships is key. Relationships is key. And Jamarcus Shepard is being looked at as the wide receiver, big brother, uncle, father figure that you want your kids to go and play for. And these young men are gravitating to that. And Caleb Cunningham is not set apart from those wide receivers that we've been seeing coming and showing a high interest in Alabama and playing under this new offensive scheme. And Coach Caleb DeBoer, Jamarcus Shepard, you know, even Coach Ellis at the tight end position is in a lot of these talks with some of these wide receivers and tight ends that we're recruiting. So Caleb Cunningham, that's definitely a serious shift. I think we're going to be surprised at what he has to say here on his next public appearance.
Yeah, listen, I've let it be known that if he's not staying in Mississippi, I thought Alabama would be the destination, right? After his very first visit, that was kind of my take that, hey, if you're not staying in Mississippi, it'll be Alabama. I know LSU is trying to do some work there, but I like Alabama's chances. If he's not staying in Mississippi, watch him to come to Alabama. Now, Coach,
and
go ahead.
My fault. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, no, because I was going to transition. So let's continue on this talking point.
To your point, though, that's been the model. That's been the talk since his recruitment started, and it got like closer to this time of the year. That if it wasn't a Mississippi school in Ole Miss or Mississippi State, Alabama was the only other option. You know, other teams, of course, are going to make their public pushes and all of this. You know, the mainstream writers, they're going to say what they're going to say, but it's pretty obvious where the young man, what type of system he wants to play in. And I don't think Tennessee fits that. I don't think LSU fits that. I don't think Georgia fits that. I don't think USC fits that. And the type of room he wants to play in, this room is scattered with just an immense amount of talent. And you add him and Ryan Williams in the same, in the same room together, it's kind of dangerous. It's like very dangerous. Not kind of dangerous, very dangerous.
And as a wide receiver, that matters. You know that, hey, you can't pull all your resources to me when there's Caleb Odom over there, Ryan Williams right here, and Jalen Hale right there. Who you going to double? You can't.
Or even in a 2-wide. I mean, a 12 personnel set. Like you got 2 tight ends now in Jay Lindsey and my boy Danny Lewis. Yeah, Danny Lewis, you know, and I'm talking about, you know, forward projection with Danny Lewis is the senior guy in that room. You got Jay Lindsey, and then, you know, we might have Lincoln Cure and Deshaun Brain commit to this class. Both of the, you know, 2 top tight ends out of Kansas, they might both commit to Alabama. You know, there's realistic probability that we have one of those super classes that is going to be fun to sign them, but we're going to have to really pay attention to see who sticks around for 2 years, for 3 years, because it is going to be a loaded class. This 25 class is going to be loaded, and this 26 class is going to be just as loaded. So it's going to be a matter of how can we keep these guys together and get them to buy into, you know, putting themselves in contention for national titles for the next 4 to 6 years. You know, that's the type of brand we're building early on in Coach Kalen DeBoer's tenure as a head coach here.
And you love to see it. Now, transitioning from recruiting to the transfer portal, because that opens up next week, we've been having conversations about what rooms people would like to see have some talent added in. big three we've seen, Coach, is offensive line, defensive line, and defensive back. Now, there's a defensive back, and it's not one of the big names. It's not people asking, is it Jabbar Muhammad? Is it Will Johnson? No, neither of those. But his quality of play is right up there with both of them. I am really intrigued. If he enters the transfer portal, I do believe Alabama has got a great shot. But what are your expectations with the transfer portal?
So I haven't been keen to like watching much of the portal, you know, guys that might come in. My usually I jump on top of things once because you know I have my little connection or whatever, but I'm more so into the recruiting side. But when it comes to the portal, I'm ready to see A-Day first, like to really see what's available. Like you were talking about earlier, a few guys are nicked up, and they won't announce until Friday tomorrow. Wait, no, they won't announce till Thursday tomorrow. Who will and won't be available? There are a few names that we know won't be available: Jaheim Otis, Jaden Roberts. They're both completely ruled out. And you have a few young guys that probably won't participate due to some injuries. Mincy's injury wasn't like season ending or anything like that. It was, you know,
just a little bang up.
Yeah, dude getting physical. You know, he's physical. So you got to protect that face, though. You know, you want to keep that moneymaker right. You know, even though it's football, you want to keep that moneymaker right. And little technique thing got him caught slipping a little bit yesterday. So, but portal wise, man, I do feel like we'll definitely go heavy in the portal for the offensive line. You look at yesterday, I was watching some of the offensive line work, and we're solid about nine deep offensive linemen solid. And that's just because we have a lot of young guys who aren't used to this scheme, aren't used to what this scheme asks for. And you want at least 9 to 12 guys that are ready for this style of offense, you know. And it's not necessarily because it's up tempo, but you get a lot of big guys out in space and things happen. You know, you trip over a little guy that's scared to take the hit, or somebody goes low on you, and you know, big guys usually can't get low. So I mean, just momentum things, all of that matters. So I look for us to go heavy for the offensive line, particularly the offensive tackle position. I think we might go and get 2 or 3 guys there. Y'all saw my little tweet about Barry Alexander. Everybody's, you know, talking about how this guy can't stay at a school and all this, and you know, he's a locker room. Some people get it at the. I'm a living testimony. All right, I'm a living witness that sometimes it took me 31 years to really realize, you know, how serious I should take life and how I should change things up and how I was operating. I always had the skill set, I always had the tools. I just wasn't applying them in the right space. And you get a young man like Barry Alexander under staff like this, under a coach like Freddie Roach, not Freddie Roach, but Chris Cap, Coach Cap, that can really hold you accountable.
Well, Barry's defensive, so he'd be Freddie Roach.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking about the left tackle from Arizona. I'm thinking about the tackle from Arizona. But Barry Alexander, you get Freddie Roach, you know, tutelage under him, and Jamie Mosley is more so the father figure in that room. I got to see him interacting with a lot of those defensive linemen yesterday at practice, and he's more so if you had to have like a parent relationship as far as the coaches in that room. Freddie Roach is more like your mom, the motivator that's going to, you know, teach you, get you right, push you, encourage you. He's going to get there on your butt too when you need him. But Jamie, he's that. He's going to stay on your tail regardless if you're doing good or not. And oh snap, look at the thumbs up. But it's cool to see that working relationship. You get a staff like that around Barry Alexander, get him to really sit down and evaluate his projection. He can be something great. And to me, a talent like that, there's always room for a talent like that on the defensive line. I don't care where you are, who you are. Barry Alexander is a talent that you would want on your defensive line.
See, I'm in the opposite camp. I'm good on it. Even if he wants to transfer to Bama, I would be a bit happier if they turn that down. 7 schools in 7 years. I understand sometimes it takes longer, but to continue exemplifying the exact same question, which is exactly what's happening now, to me, that's not learning. That's just more of the same. 7 schools in 7 years is a red flag, man. To leave Georgia to go to USC, hey, Georgia's pumping him out with the best of them. This has been my take. When the going gets tough, Bear gets going. He doesn't bear down. When the going gets tough, he looks elsewhere. I don't know, man, if I want someone on the roster that's quit on 7 different teams. I don't know if I would like that.
And that was the main thing that I was hearing, and that's what we said when he left Georgia, you know. And I'm not saying that he's the best option out there, but it's definitely an option. You get what I'm saying?
Super talented. You're 100% right there. His ability is otherworldly. True.
And my thing is, if we can get a hold of, if we can accept Caden Proctor to come back, who quit on a winning team, right? You know, and
I do think there's a massive difference between someone transferring back home and then understanding, and then 7. He hasn't been at the same place since junior high.
Junior high school, yes. So somebody's allowed him to continue that process, continue that way of thinking. I guarantee you, there's conversations going to be had if he's talking about coming to Bama. And I'm not saying this is our home run hit in the portal. That's far from it. I don't think we need a defensive lineman. Me personally, that I said this from the jump. If I'm more solidified in the room, it's going to be that defensive line room and that running back room. True. I don't think we go and do anything with those 2 rooms. Even our linebacker room, like you don't mess with those. You know, wide receivers. Do we really go out and get? No. I think we go out, we look at some offensive tackles. We try to find some experience there, some quality depth. We go look in the secondary. May not be starters that we go get or potential starters, but go get some quality depth for the cornerback room because we're going to need it. But yeah, Bear Alexander is somebody you definitely talk to. It's kind of like one of those things. If you got Antonio Brown and Terrell Owens in free agency, you go and do a temperature gauge, and that's you give them that 15 minutes of evaluation. And if they pass the mark, you give them a chance. If they don't, keep it moving. And it's simple like that. And that's the good thing about being at Alabama, being a coach or having a roster like you have at Alabama. You don't necessarily need anything. You can add to, but you don't. Right now with this roster, we don't need anything. We can develop all the tackles on the roster. Will they be top notch coming into the season? More than likely not, but I feel like we have a good group of guys that can develop, you know. And the defensive line, like I said, man, even just watching them yesterday, man, I'm like, you know, who can come in and make this better? Like, we haven't seen Jaheim Otis all spring, and we're raving about the defensive line. We've had to see guys like, you know, Tim Smith, you know, I think he was dinged up a little bit. Jahad Campbell was dinged up a little bit. Just the whole front 7, that first 2 levels of the defense just looks vicious, man. And I can't wait to see it. But, you know, Porter's going to be Porter, you know, and I think we might lose a few guys, you know, a couple of names, you know, that aren't necessarily seeing the trajectory on their career here at Alabama as they should. And most of them are veteran guys who deserve an opportunity to go somewhere. If they're not going to be implemented here in the primary scheme of things, I think they deserve the opportunity to go because they've tried their 2 or 3 years here at Alabama. And then now they're going to look elsewhere to further their career, which is that's more than understandable.
Yeah, 100%. I think even outside the 7 teams, for me, the reason why I don't know that Bama will be in play for Bear is because Bear's going to want to go to the highest bidder. And I can't see a team that is emphasizing culture play a bidding war for that type of right. Texas, I'm interested because they need defensive tackles, right? And I believe his brother plays for SMU.
Yeah,
something to watch there.
And I think the only reason he's in play for any SEC team right now is the simple fact of the history at Georgia. You know, he was at Georgia. There's got to be something there, and that's all I could ride off of. Like, I'm not excited about Bear. You know, I don't get excited. It would be a what they call it, like like yesterday when I posted it was like clickbait. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a response type thing for a lot of schools, and that's what they're going to go for. Me personally, I like Ja Latham. I like Curtis Perry. I like LT Overton. I like Tim Keenan. I mean, all the spots that you would want to put him at and be flexed in is, I don't see him coming in and pushing any of those guys out the way anyways, you know, so I'm not too big on it. But one guy I will say, if he comes in the portal, we better jump on it. And it's been a lot of news circulating around. It got quiet early on when the portal, when Michigan first lost their head coach. If Will Johnson jumps in this portal, guys, I guarantee you Courtney Morgan, Mo Linquist, and this staff are going to go 110 up the walls to try to convince this young man that he can have an opportunity here at Alabama. And you know what that does for our cornerback room? That those young cornerbacks, they get the spot play. They get to be put in positions where they're the fourth or fifth cover guy out there in a set, and they don't get all that pressure thrown on them. But the funny thing is, man, this coaching staff is so confident in our secondary. They're wondering, how do we go in the portal and add depth without getting these guys thinking that oh, I got to take this, bro. This is max.
100%. 100%.
Got to take this.
So, I can continue with what Coach Smook is saying because I have been thinking this myself, right? This is an interesting talking point, ladies and gentlemen. The fact that this coaching staff is loving what they have in the secondary right now, though we know we need depth in the secondary, you are in a proverbial rock and a hard place, right? You know you need the depth, but you really like what you have right now. So how do you go about doing this? It's a balancing act. And I'm very interested to see how they approach this balancing act. There are several names. Will Johnson, right? If he enters the transfer portal, everybody jumps on that. The name that I've been talking about is also a Big Ten defensive back. So there are several different defensive backs in the Big Ten that if they enter into the transfer portal, I think it'd be hard not to jump at them. But like Smook said, this coaching staff is currently in a balancing act. Do we go and get them, or do we rock with what we have? Now, the only reason I think that we will see some movement there is because of just lack of numbers in the defensive back room. But talent is certainly there. Talent is certainly there. Let's see what people in the undefeated are thinking right now. We have, well, if we're in Crimson, true. Tornado watch. Anybody in tornado watches, y'all stay safe. Y'all be sure to be near shelter. Upperclassmen who need a fresh start is who the portal should be for. True. Listen, I'm not opposed to the transfer portal. But I also think transfer portal is interesting, right? Right? The transfer portal is very interesting. Because you have to walk this tightrope. Will you adding someone cause a ripple effect in a negative way? It doesn't always, but it could. And that's the balancing act that you have to try and maintain. Fascinating stuff, but I think Coach Smook always makes fantastic points. But that was a very, very interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. A very, very interesting one. I really hope he dives deeper into that in his segment, because that's a good one. That's a great point by Smook. That's a fantastic point. What yucky weather out there? Yeah. I don't know how it's looking right here. The only bad thing about these headphones is apparently I have streamed through some real bad storms, and I've come out and my wife will be like starting to take shelter. She's got Maya with her, my dog, in the closet. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, well, I didn't know anything was happening, because these are like noise canceling headphones. Which is usually why you see Maya in the room with me. Or I will refer to, oh, my dog's in the room with me. Because if anybody's at the door, that's the only way I know. Is because she'll let me know. She'll like walk up to me and let me know. Hunter says, is Caleb Cunningham committing soon? Just joined back, missed some of the show. I don't know if he has a date in place, Hunter, but Smook is very confident with where Alabama stands, and that's exactly what we want to hear. That's exactly what we want to hear. Patriot Life, my man, how are you doing today? Happy you're in here. Happy you're in here. Oh, Smook looks happy in the background. What's going on?
Okay, I'm back. Oh, man. Just Bama football on YouTube, doing Bama football on YouTube stuff. Coach Smook trying to secure the bag,
Oh.
Yeah. That's all. Just know we this offseason is going to be action-packed for the channel. As long as we keep being good, as long as we keep staying authentic, this offseason is going to get a little bit of this channel is going to get a lot more access than expected, than a lot of people are able to get right now. And it's all because of authenticity. Just being open, just being I guess you could say transparent about where we're at and what we're trying to do. A lot of people are taking notice, and we're really trendsetters. We're game changers right now. So I'm glad to be a part of this. And yeah, we got some not no crazy good news about recruiting. And this is for like access and being able to be in position for all of the things we're looking for. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, y'all have been doing a fantastic job interacting with the players, interacting with the coaches. I meant to tweet it last night, but I started watching something with the wife. There was and I did tweet it and retweet it, but I didn't hit it with the quote tweet because as I was doing that, like I said, got distracted watching a YouTube video. But it was the video of you interviewing Jalen Milroe. Right up there, and I was gonna quote tweet it and be like, I know that's not who I think it is standing there, right? But I ended up just hitting it with the retweet because I gotta. If you're in the video talking to Jalen Milroe, I gotta make sure I hit that with the retweet.
Right.
You weren't the one that tweeted it, but the second I saw you were in the video, I hit that retweet and was like, no, I gotta make sure my guy's out there, right? People know what he's doing.
And you know what's funny, man? I love like the relationships that I'm building with some of the players, not just me, but Kyle too, being there. Milroe, like we have like this funny, like these looks when he comes up, and if it's a bad question, I don't know if y'all have noticed, like if Milroe not really feeling the question, he was like kind of look at me with like I just go back and watch all the clips where we're interviewing Milroe, or even Deontay Lawson. Deontay Lawson is another one. Tim Keenan, Ja Latham. You know, I had a moment walking up to interview him yesterday. You know, I had ran into those guys at the restaurant last week for the UNC. What was that? A week and a half ago before the UNC game, and they run into Ja and the Tims. It was funny because we had a conversation there before I went live on my channel. Walked in. They showed love to my channel. They gave a lot of the fan shout outs on my channel, didn't ask them to, told them that the fans wanted to see them. They was down for it, and then yesterday seeing them in practice, engaging, we actually got to see them. We were seeing them walk in to practice yesterday. We got there early enough to see them walk into practice. And it was funny just being noticed by the players. CJ Dupree, like giving me, what's up, coach? Like it was pretty cool. So I'm glad that the hard work is paying off, y'all. And no, I'm not getting the big head or anything like that. I'm just being appreciative of the position that, most people take years to get to this point. And I didn't start in this industry. I started as a gaming content creator. So a Bama fan that played video games. So now that I'm in this level and I'm learning, I've been doing film study on like my presentation, how I interact with my brothers when we're on the panel together. And it's going to keep getting better, like Miro says, 1% better every day, staying hungry, staying ready to, jump on the real news, not the fake clickbait stuff. That's where my motivation is right now.
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Well, the time has come, Coach. I know you have an action-packed segment, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of your hair. Don't want to take any more time from you. We will wrap back up tomorrow in the morning, talk more about the A-Day to come, because we'll have more information in terms of who will be playing, the visitors that will be there. We'll just have more clarity, more information. And then we need to get together, all of us, on a Monday evening or Tuesday evening stream. I guess it would be a Tuesday or Wednesday evening stream for the transfer portal, because
we already got plans, Ty, and you and Jance, I believe, are going to point guard that whole day.
Well, he better not leave me hanging for what I got planned.
Exactly, because I seen the messages, and oh my God, it's going to get crazy.
Yeah, he better not leave me hanging, because I'm going to be heated. If I'm like, well, no, I'm not. I'm still going to do what I do, right? Let's just know.
Oh, man.
I might not be present, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm arranging for a guest to maybe take my spot. It's not Blaze, because, listen, we're trying to be professional, right? Like,
right.
It's not the time nor the place for Blaze, right?
What's up, Jordan?
There'll be another time for Blaze, but not that day. There's another guest. Be sure to be on the lookout for that. Coach, as always, great time talking to you, man. Kill your segment and roll tide as always, ladies and gentlemen.
Roll tide, my brother. Man, I rock with Ty. That's my boy Heavy, y'all. Me, Ty, Sean, Jay, Kyle, Jake, Merrill when he's here, man. I'm telling y'all won't get another panel like this, bro. I'm telling you. Run up hey, come on, y'all. Y'all know what to do. All my fan funders, y'all know what to do. It's roll call time. I'm excited to be here today. Yesterday was an awesome day. We had a lot of energy yesterday, right? Some people were happy, some people were mad, but we back, and that's all that matters. We back. I'm glad to see each and every one of you again in the chat today. We got some practice stuff to discuss. I got some B-roll footage in the back that I'm going to be able to run. Hopefully I'm able to run it. Y'all run it up, man. Let's get it going. Roll call, then we're going to jump into our commercial. We're going to make it do what it do, man. Shane B in the chat. What's good? My guy Walt back there. Marquita out there. You know what I'm saying? Todd out there. Wait. Y'all ain't out there. Y'all in here. Keep it up, fam. You appreciate you, Ty. My brother. Hey, man. Y'all, okay, give me 2 seconds before I continue. It's different when, it's one thing when the supporters who don't get to see the behind the scenes work, when they're pushing you and they're saying, keep doing what you're doing and all of that. But it's different when the people that you share the stage with, that you have to sit back and kind of feed off of what they do. And you kind of have to, we got to work together on this thing. And some people could get in a spotlight battle, but my team, man, I feel like they pushing me out there in the spotlight. The more I try to play in the background and make it about the team, I feel like the team is pushing me out there, and I appreciate them because I don't do this for me. I do this for my team. So when A-Day, when they see Coach Sean walking with Coach Smoot, I want everybody that respects Coach Smoot and Kyle, I want them to respect Coach Sean. When Ty shows up on the scene, like I want everything that I'm building or that we're trying to establish here, what we're doing, boots on the ground, myself, Kyle, and T. I want everybody that's a part of this team to be able to receive that same energy when they step on campus or they step around campus or they step around the players. I want them to be able to receive it. And having a guy like Ty on the team, man, is different because he's in Texas. He got connects to Oklahoma, Texas, West Coast. Like he has reach. You go up to Virginia, he got reach up there. So it's like it's an awesome team. But back to the call outs, I just want to give them their flowers, man. I love my team. Kyle, T, Sean, Jay, Jake Merrill. I love y'all, man. I appreciate the support. I'm gonna keep grinding for us, man. I'm gonna keep grinding. And shouts out to my family, my mom, my dad, my children. I love them, man. All 6 of them jokers. I appreciate everything that they're doing. My team, Coach Smoot Network team that's working behind the scenes to maintain the back end of the back end, right? Still doing what they do to support and push. Man, we got a lot going, and I really am grateful. I'm humbled. All glory to God. None of this is done without him. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Again, Cynthia, you in the building. DR334, Dwight, what's good, man? John M is in the chat. Yes, sir. Joseph. I bark for Joe. That's a big dog. You know what I'm saying? That's a little dog bark, but Joseph, you know what I'm saying? That's my boy, man. He be on everything. Mike Coleman, what's good, man? Let's go. Goofball. Let's go. Samuel Phillips in the chat. Ruben in the chat. Megan, what's good? Jonathan Harris, I need to get you on that fan funders, man. I need to get you on that fan funders, bro. We need to get Jonathan Harris fan funded, y'all. We need to get him fan funded. Deontay Wallace in the chat. Tim Nolan, be telling the truth, telling it like it is. I love it. Poetic Injustice in the chat. Travis in here. What's good, man? Y'all going crazy. Y'all look, Patrick Sims in the chat. Brad Cooper. Y'all, hey, we got some new names showing up. Or more people talking today. Jonathan Harris, what's good, y'all? Listen, Adam, what's good, man? What's good? Steven Scuba, my guy. He speaks the real. I love it. I love it. I love it. That boy told me I was all the way wrong. And I was like, you right. I was wrong. I was wrong about Ty. I was wrong about Dylan for like 2 seconds. I was wrong about Dylan for like 2 seconds, y'all. It wasn't Ty. It was Dylan. I think that was Dylan you was telling me about, Tim. Nicole, my sister. Hey, that boy getting thick, ain't it? Y'all see that boy getting thick? Stop playing with me, boy. I was looking at myself, man. Mike Coleman, everybody. Drew, what's good, family? Drew, man, look, y'all. I'm losing track of names. Zachary Wilgis, is that Wilgis with the $4.99 super chat? He said, Roll Tide, Coach Smoot. You and the guys keep up the good work. Y'all are the best Bama football news provider on YouTube. Thank you so much for that $4.99 super chat and being a fan funder. Man, I appreciate y'all. Matt Farms, what's good, man? Hey, this is what I'm saying. This is Ty Hayes right here. It says, unbelievably blessed to be a part of the team, Coach. You always know I will support you, and what you do is a family thing. That's my brother, y'all. I'm telling y'all, don't mess with Ty. I had to pull out the thing for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Quack, 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 quack. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm just playing, y'all. Let's get to it, though. Let's get into this commercial. Y'all already know what's coming. Let's give some love to our sponsors, Residence Inn in Ocean City, Maryland, RogueShop.com, and Demetrius Maynard of the Maynard Group. We appreciate you all for showing your support. Kyle, take it away with the commercial, my boy.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Residence in Ocean City, Maryland. Guests can book at residenceinOC.com. Use the promo code LPR for special Bama football pricing up to 20% off. Also, go to therogueshop.com. Use the promo code Bama. You get legal CBD. For me, personally, I like the topical oil. You know how intense my workouts are, right? So I like the topical oil. I like to rub that on my back, whatever, after those cinder blocks. So go to their website, cruise down, look through their website, and definitely check out rogueshop.com. And like I said, I like the topical. Again, the promo code is Bama. Also, think about becoming a fan funder right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Become a part of the Undefeated as low as $2.99 a month. That's 10 cents a day. How do you do this? Make sure you're logged into your account. This is on a computer. You can also do this on your phone and look for the tab that says membership. Once you click membership, you can see different options. You can see an upgrade button right there to the right if you want to go through the different levels. We have fan funder videos from the staff right here at Bama Football on YouTube. Very easy to navigate. Let us know if you have questions inside the comment box when trying to upgrade or renew your fan funder membership right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And of course, if you want to rock that undefeated gear, check out our merch store located at the bottom of the videos. We appreciate Patriot Life, Cynthia, Antoine, Caitlin, and to everybody else that supports us right here on Bama Football on YouTube.
Yes, sir. We appreciate everybody. I had to go ahead and crank it up, y'all. So what I'm going to start doing, man, and I see y'all love the call-out segments that myself, Coach Sean usually does it real good, like we do together. What I'm going to start doing, if we have people in here that aren't fan funders, I'm going to try to find at least one or two that aren't fan funders that I see looking for, not for attention, but want that shout out. I think the interactive aspect of what our channel provides is the main thing. Whether, we're disagreeing or agreeing, I think the interactive chat aspect is what sets us apart. So I want to pay a little more closer attention to that. Even when we're in segments, I like to try to start comments. You guys are picking up the traffic, so it's getting kind of hard. And this is the off season. So y'all gonna have to help us and work with us. We might need mods in the chat. So if you're interested in becoming a mod, definitely hit Kyle at the email. We do need mods in the chat, right? People that have been here for a while, that understand what we're trying to do when we're talking about moderating the chat, not just shutting people up because they're trolling, because we like trolls. We like to have trolls. We like to have good trolls, right? I'm trying to find this email. And if you want to become a mod, trying to find the email, the Bama Football on YouTube. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. If you want to become a mod, hit that email right there, Bama Football on YouTube. Subject line should say moderator app. And then tell us your name, how long you've been a part of Bama Football on YouTube or watching us, and how you feel like you can help moderate the chat. All right. Bama Football on YouTube at gmail.com. Bama Football on YT, and make sure you got the capital B, capital F, capital O, capital YT. All right. Bama Football on YouTube on YT at gmail.com. Hit us with that if you want to become a mod, and we'll get you working in on that. I want to acknowledge two chatters today, two special guests in the chat, not necessarily special guests, but two chatters who don't have that fan funder, tag. And it's going to be Tommy Tidwell. Hey, appreciate you for pulling up today. We appreciate you for showing love in the chat, man, and doing what you do, trying to get you up to that fan funder level. And my guy, Roll Champ, said, Coach Smook, what's good? Listen, brother, everything's good on this side. It'll be better if you was a fan funder. Go ahead and jump on that fan funder link and get tapped in, y'all. Join the team and continue to support the channel. Yes, sir. Disagreement is what? Nah, we're not disagreeing today. We're gonna talk straight football today. We did enough of disagreeing and all that stuff yesterday. And shouts out to everybody that had their statements or their comments yesterday Y'all see the video, man. We got good response. We got bad. It's not about agreeing or disagreeing at the end of the day. It's about getting the point across. And I think everybody has that opportunity. Everybody should be privy to that opinion. And I was just, voicing mine. And I think it was definitely an issue that needed to be addressed. And shouts out to Jalen Milroe, man. Shook my hand, dapped me up, gave me the look. I know he saw it because it's slick, went semi-viral. A lot of those players watch our channel. So I appreciate it. I'm glad that I was the one chosen to do it. A lot of people wouldn't step up and say those things, but I'll fight just as hard for any player, any issues that I feel like people are attacking our players outside of what they present on the football field. When you start attacking their character and all that stuff, and you don't even know them, that's when I get I just get kind of worked up. But we ain't gonna talk about that today. We're gonna get into it, man. I saw a lot of good things yesterday during practice. I saw a good question. Any news about football players today? Yeah, we got plenty of news. We got plenty of news. I saw a question earlier. Somebody asked about one of the players. Let me see. I missed it. Somebody asked about, was it Jaheim Otis? Was it Jaheim Otis that you all were asking about? Oh, this is the one right here. Bear Alexander plans on hitting the portal is being reported. LA, appreciate your comment and you being a fan funder. He says, I'm on the fence with him. Maybe some attitude issues. LA, I'm gonna tell you right now, Bear Alexander is a talent that you want on the field, right? But he is not somebody you want in the locker room, right? My hopes are, if he was to show some interest in Bama, if it was a realistic thing for him to come to Bama, and y'all know I get my troll on Twitter every now and then. But if he was to choose to come to Alabama, there will be some hard realities set in for him. You're not the guy at Bama. You have to be one of the guys, right? And you probably won't play 60 snaps a game. You probably get cut down to 25, 30 snaps because of the way that the scheme is. Will he accept that? His attitude, his history doesn't say so, but maybe the way that this staff has been moving and the type of moves we've been making, maybe it happens. And it's a win for us. If we miss on him, it's not a loss. So I'm good on Bear, just like a lot of you all. I think it would be a lot of buzz if he was to choose Bama, or if Bama was to, even reach out to him. What we got? Come on, like the stream up. The Chiefs from the cheap seats. Oh, we got 158. Yeah, y'all run them likes up for the channel, man. Let's run these likes up. Hold on, I gotta do something real quick. Set something up real quick, y'all, and then we gonna get into it. Trying to make sure we got enough B-roll footage in the back. Oh, I did. Oh, y'all, I got the juice. Let me show y'all. I got the juice. I ended up getting the juice yesterday. Let me show y'all. Screen sharing was canceled. Oh yeah, it was because I did that, Saw. All right, so let's talk about this today. I want to talk about the interviews that we was able to get yesterday. A lot of insight, a lot of confidence building stuff that happened with Jalen Milroe yesterday. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up the Jalen Milroe interview, and we're just gonna play it through. But we'll be able to get to it. Let me turn the music off for y'all.
How are you?
Good. How y'all doing?
Good. How was practice?
It was good. Got 1% better. That's all we can ask for, and it was a lot of fun. Just now that we're in practice 13, we're all just trying to climb, all try to achieve the same goal, which is be better each and every day we have practice. So I'm just excited with our offense because everybody's explosive. Whether it's our ones, twos, threes, we have some guys that can make a play with the ball. We're just trying to be hungry and actually starving. Starving to be great, starving to be a championship team. So I'm just pleased with where we're at because we're trying to keep getting better and keep climbing to the top. So I'm just proud of our guys to keep on working.
So that's one thing that I want to highlight, y'all. A lot of people say that that's a cliche thing. I was there at practice yesterday. I got to see a lot of competition, and these guys, they're coming into a phase of being dialed in and knowing what's expected for the day-to-day, right? For the day-to-day, you need to come in and you need to compete. And yesterday, I highlighted it in our post-practice report. It was more so of a thing where I saw wide receivers. There was no set first team wide receiver group. It seemed like whoever was available and ready, they were out there executing. And this offense really is starting to pick up some momentum, guys. Jalen Milroe being the leader of this group, Ty Simpson following him up. It's like between the first and second group, there's really no drop off. You might see a few hiccups on the offensive line and protection, but the skills positions, tight ends, running backs, wide receivers, the quarterback, there's so much depth and talent there, y'all. We have a lot, and this is a lot to say when you're talking about the type of defensive line that we have. But that 1% better every day, that mantra is real across the board. I don't care if you on the defense side or the offense side, special teams. Our specialty guys, they come out from their segments in practice, they are sweating. They are, I mean, like they go in, they do their conditioning, all of that stuff. They go in that weight room. I see them. Our punter is probably bench pressing, probably like repping 235. James Burnham repping 235 minimum. I mean, repping it. Most punters not lifting weights. Most punters not in. James Burnham is in there. He was doing the band, not the band, but the cable where you kicking your leg back, and he had to have like 60 pounds on there. You're talking about a punter who's really just pushing himself, and you got a lot of young guys prefer walk-ons in that specialty group. This team has a different energy about it. Let me get to some of y'all comments. Milroe is one of the most impressive young men I've ever seen. He is the epitome of class. Listen, just listen to how well versed he is when he's addressing certain parts of, certain questions. Never let you put him in a situation to put what he says in question, right? This young man represented himself as the man and has represented the University of Alabama just like it should be. Always a fan of number 4. And y'all, I'm not sunshine pumping Milroe. I was hoping we was able to get more than Milroe yesterday. I was on record. Somebody, was like, you can't be picky. But I'm one of those guys that's like, I wanted to talk to Ty because Ty had these eyes were in places they weren't supposed to be yesterday. I'm gonna admit, I was looking at stuff. I'm not gonna tell y'all what happened, but I was looking at stuff I wasn't supposed to be seeing, right? And Ty is loving the fact that he's QB2. I will tell you that he is okay with being QB2. He is okay with learning the structure and the basis of this offense. He is okay with becoming a better leader. I don't know if y'all know, but Ty didn't have the best freshman year coming to Alabama. He had a lot of character issues that had to be addressed, not just by this previous staff, but some of his teammates. They care about each other. They're a real brotherhood. And they, Milroe and a couple of guys, they sat down and talked to him and told him what he could be, And I believe he's really bought into that. You look at, he doesn't even carry himself the same. You look at how he interacts with his teammates. I mean, it's all off of it's all because of the trickling down of how Milroe chose to be a leader when he got replaced last year. And I can't wait to get that story and get that publicly announced or publicly out there for the other outlets to see that Ty Simpson is really bought into this process. He's going to do everything he can every day to be a better quarterback, just like Milroe, just like Lonigan, just like Mac. That's why when we talk about who's better, it's clear who's ready. It's clear who's ready. There's nothing wrong with having a guy that needs to be ready, right? Ty Simpson is that guy. He's embracing that. And we talking about having a backup with his skill set that's embracing that type of role. It's just like having Jalen Hurts and Tua on the roster again. That's what it feels like, having Jalen Hurts and Tua. You got a skill set, a proven winner that's learning to become a more complete quarterback. And you got a guy behind him who just needs a little bit more tightening, a little bit more college speed, a little bit more, tutelage to get to that level to where he is no contest. This is our starter. And I like this transition. I like this progression for Ty. I like it for Jalen. I like it for everybody. Guys, I'm not going to lie. My Twitter feed is blowing up. I don't know what I posted, but that's why I keep looking at my phone. Yeah, I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is happening. Let me see. I gotta check it out. Oh yeah. Okay. I see. I be creating buzz. I'm sorry, y'all. It's a win-win situation. Facts become. Hey, so we didn't get to really ask a lot of questions yesterday because they had see, Kyle and them, they be dipping out on me. They be going to have lunch without me. I'm reprimanding them. But listen, Jalen Milroe did answer a lot of good questions yesterday. Let me get this back on here. Let's get this back up here. Where's my layout? it was one part of the interview. Kyle asked a good question yesterday.
Things, but also being in the trainer, part of everyone.
You've been with a new offensive coordinator.
Here you
A lot
go.
of reps, a lot of plays.
I want y'all to listen to
from,
Kyle's
plays that we're doing
question.
a really good job at. So all we want to do is get 1% better. But with that comes with our grind during the week.
How's the chemistry been with new offensive coordinator Nick Sheridan?
Absolutely. I think
This is big.
With my time of playing football, this is a special moment for me because Coach Sheridan truly believes in me, and he speaks that every single day. No matter if I make 10,000 passing attempts that are completed, whether I miss a ball, he's saying how proud he is of me, and he comes with positive reinforcement behind the coaching. So this is a special moment for me because of who he is as a person, and I'm still learning and growing because it's that trust factor we have between each other. So I love our relationship because it's constantly growing, and I'm appreciating that. But with our offense, it's been fun. It's been fun for me because I'm able to learn. And that's what the biggest thing I want to do is continue to learn. The day I stop learning and growing is the day I need to stop playing football. So for me, I'm just trying to keep learning. But with that comes with Coach DeBoer, Coach Mitch, who works with the quarterback, Coach Sheridan, our receiver coach. So there's a lot of people that's around me to allow me to be the best quarterback I can be. And so with this offense, it's been fun, and I'm excited for what the future holds.
So I want y'all to think about something, and I'm not throwing shade at Tommy Reese or anything. But a lot of interviews from last year, when you asked Jalen Milroe, if you go back, excuse me, I got hiccups or something. If you go back and you look at a lot of interviews with Jalen Milroe and they asked about his comfortability with the coaching staff, how things were coming along. First off, he went into the season in a what needed to be a good quarterback competition. He came into the season. There was no, decisive leader. There was no for sure go ahead QB1. Even coming into the Middle Tennessee State game, right? He dealt with that pressure. Then he also had to learn how to deal with another offensive coordinator, his second offensive coordinator in 3 years at that point in time. So he dealt with a lot of adversity, but never fully had the support or never had a coaching staff that fully was catering to what he would need to be able to. And you don't take your coaching staff and you say, well, we're going to get a coach to help Jalen. No, you get a coach that knows how to work with quarterbacks in general, right? And we didn't have that. We never had that for his tenure here at Alabama. But now you can hear it in the language and the way that he's speaking. They have multiple QB, analysts or QB gurus in the room that can help him in development. Not just him, but he named 4 names. You have 4 scholarship quarterbacks on the roster. At no point in time does he hog all the attention of all 4 quarterback coaches or all 4 offensive personnel who can help him develop, right? This is the difference that we've been trying to say. Myself, Ty Hayes, I spoke with Kensington Smith of The Athletic, and we had an in-depth conversation about it. Shout out to Kenny, my boy, man, doing big things. I hope y'all saw his interview that I shared with Roman. He did an interview with Roman Harper on SEC Network, man. Brother doing big things. That's a good personal partner of mine. We've become real tight since I've been here. But back to the point, we were talking about how it's hard to really develop a quarterback, like Jalen Milroe, if you don't have a quarterback coach, somebody who can take that extra time to break things down and look at his technique, look at his makeup and his skill set and what he brings to the table and help him tweak it so that he could be effective for the team. And you're getting the same thing with Ty Hayes. One thing I saw about Ty yesterday, and I'm gonna be talking about all the quarterbacks for the most part of this segment because that's where a lot of the focus was yesterday during practice, making sure these quarterbacks had command. And there weren't a lot of coaching moments, which gives me confidence that this coaching staff is confident in all the quarterbacks. There weren't many coaching moments. I mean, Ty had one early on, and his response to it was Coach Jalen DeBoer got onto him. They were just doing warm-ups, and Ty just, he gets happy with that slinger mentality, and he just led the running back way too far on a drill. And Coach Jalen DeBoer got onto him, and he, yes sir, boom, and then soon as Jalen got done doing his rep after Ty Jalen turns around and pats him on the butt like, good job, bro, come on, keep working. And they push each other during the 11 segments. The few plays that I did get to see, man, it was like every play that they made. I mean, Ty Simpson, on the sideline hype, they running on. I mean, it was almost as if, if you watch Ball is Life, how they have the 1v1s and people on the court Like they dudes one-on-one, but people on the court, they don't really have space to do their moves, but everybody, they still playing. That's how practice looks when they're in their 11 sessions. It's a lot more organized, of course, but celebrations are crazy. Like it's 30 people celebrating on the play every time. Every time a big play is made, it's 30 people on either side of the ball celebrating. And that's a good thing to have, man. So yeah, that Buckner move, David. Yeah, I'm 100% with you. That Buckner move was one of those where yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. That was one. People forget when Simpson committed, he said he was okay with waiting, that he would take the Mac Jones approach and wait his turn. Big knowledge. I'm not sure he said that verbatim, but I do remember Ty Simpson saying that he was bought fully into the process. And my concern was, because of the Coach Saban leaving, was he going to be still bought into the process? Because the process may have changed, right? And to me, he's displayed just as much character and resilience as Jalen Milroe, because everybody knows Ty Simpson is a starting quarterback anywhere else. Anywhere else, he can go to Georgia and take Carson Beck's spot. He's better than Carson Beck to me. He's better than Nico out there in Tennessee. He's better than it ain't Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. Who's the quarterback at Ole Miss right now? Doesn't even matter. Ty's better. You get what I'm saying? Auburn would love if Auburn gets Ty Simpson. If and I'm saying if, because it's not realistic from what I know from after talking with the young man. It's not realistic. But if Auburn could get a Christmas wish and get Ty Simpson in, he wouldn't have to fight for the starting job. He's going to be the starter. And the talent they have out there on the perimeter, that would be a dangerous team, right? Oh my God, I almost threw up. Hold on, let me drink some water, y'all. I almost threw up saying that crap. All right, gotta make sure I'm good, y'all. Talking about Auburn. Oh my God. Yeah. He taking 1 year at Bama. But yeah, y'all know how I get talking about that nasty school, man. Adam, there are some things that if you really turn on Beck's film, Mike Bobo did a great job protecting Carson Beck. Now, what I will say is Georgia had probably the most efficient offensive line in the SEC last year. They had the most effective and efficient offensive line. So Carson Beck looked great coming back off of first, second, third, first read, back to third read. Like he would go through 5 progressions in his drop backs, and he was solid. But you give Ty Simpson that type of time, something he didn't have against USF, right? And he's better than Beck. I mean, if you give Ty Simpson that type of time last year in his development process, if he had a solid offensive line, he might have took the job from Jalen. And I said this coming into last season. If Jalen had struggled against Middle Tennessee State, if he had came into that game and the score was 7-0 going into the 5th drive of the game, right? We in the second quarter, half of the second quarter is going by, and we're only up 7-0 against Middle Tennessee State. Ty Simpson should have gotten an opportunity if that was the case. And I believe if he would have gotten that opportunity, he wouldn't have gave the job back. And I said this, I'm on record. People have called me out for saying that. So for this narrative that people think I'm just pushing Milroe, no, I like what Milroe was able to do in the midst of adversity. I didn't know did y'all think our left tackle was going to be horrible last year? Did y'all think our center wasn't going to be able to snap the ball? Did anybody know? Did anybody think that our center was going to be that horrible last year? I know I didn't. So yeah, I mean, you gotta give it up. I could play both sides of it, to help either candidate, get the upside as far as what they could have done. But yeah, they didn't have much to work with. And you look at the athleticism aspect, Milroe has the edge. That's what got him the job last year. But then also his progression as the year went on, even in practice, he got better in practice. It was weeks where Milroe, was reported going crazy in practice, and he comes to the Georgia game and craps the bed, for the most part, but does enough to help win the game. Does enough. Hey, we can have that debate. Ty Simpson is better than Carson Beck. I'm going to stand by it. Ty Simpson is better than Carson Beck. He may not be as experienced. I want y'all to understand this. He may not be as experienced, but he is better. his legs, his arm talent, his vision with the ball, his delivery, his arm strength are better than Carson Beck. Say I'm lying. Say I'm lying. Say I'm lying. I said it. I said it. My point exactly. Van Gogh, Beck had for 2 years. I mean, for a whole, he had the perfect. He was Tua. He had Tua type stuff. The year Tua was a starter, Tua had everything around him, and still couldn't win the national championship. What did Beck do? Beck had everything around him. The running backs, he had the offensive line, he had the tight end, he had the wide receivers, everything, and they still couldn't do it. Come on, man. It ain't that he overrated. He's not overrated by any means. I'm just saying, you put Ty Simpson in Beck's shoes, that's a national championship team because Ty Simpson can create with his legs. Ty Simpson's way more athletic than Carson Beck. Way more shifty, way more nifty. Extension of playability is there, right? I'm just saying, that's my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. They had a lot of injuries on the defensive side. They offense didn't get hit till late in the season. Well, the running back too. The running back, I remember the running back room was beat up a little bit, but you got 4 or 5 stars in the running back room. I'm not sure if they all 5 stars, but you got 4 guys in the running back room, kind of like our running back room this year. You're so deep that if you lose 2 guys, it's not really hurting. I'm not sure if he'll struggle this year. Well, their schedule is a little bit tougher. They're playing a lot more established teams with a lot more better defenses. Their schedule isn't the toughest, but they do have some opponents early on in the year. Us being one of them, that's going to test them. Clemson is probably going to test them early. He's going to see quality early on and throughout this schedule this year. The wide receivers were suffering most of the year. I mean, to a certain degree, you're talking about one wide receiver that was hurting bad. Beck did an awesome job. The main thing was he had a center that got the ball to him, and he didn't have near as many pressures as Jalen Milroe. Beck had less sacks in the first 4 weeks of the season than Ty had in one game. Yo. Hey, Beck had less pressures on him in the first 4 games of the season than Ty Simpson had on him in one game. And he didn't even start that game. So that just goes to show you what we was doing, what our offensive line was doing last year, or pieces of the offensive line was doing last year. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna run some B-roll while we just small talk. I'm feeling the vibes with the small talk today. Let's run some B-roll while we at it. Turn the volume off. Let's do some reactions to some of the things we saw. That was Milroe with that pass to the running back there. I like this, man. I like seeing these. The main thing I was looking at yesterday with these guys is mechanics. And this is the warm-ups that we was talking about. This is Kyle's footage. I got the pass where Simpson overthrew the running back because he was just so hyped, man. They have this energy about him. Look at Milroe's ball, man. Nice level, nice angle, nice delivery. Austin Mack. I'm done talking about Milroe for a minute. Austin Mack has shown so much improvement. With his mechanics, y'all. Dylan Lonergan, he's looking, he has this energy about him. For some, it's not positive, but for me, I think the writing's on the wall with Lonergan. I would not be mad to see Lonergan go and get an opportunity at a school such as maybe a SMU, Texas Tech, UCF, somewhere, USF, maybe somewhere that fits his skill set where he can thrive. Maybe he can go to the likes of Purdue, maybe a Penn State might fit Lonergan. Maybe he go out west. Maybe he goes to Washington, right? Maybe he goes to possibly Oregon State, Washington State. Some of those schools that can use a quality quarterback like Dylan Lonergan. But I don't. If he stays, I will be surprised, and that would just be a testament to the culture. Oh yeah, he throws a beautiful ball. The mechanics are there. Oh my God. He is going to be when it's his time, which I think he's going to be. He's 2 years out right now. I think if Simpson stays, he's next up, but Mac is definitely next up. He's going to be the transition guy between him and what I'm hoping to lock in and what I got the feels for, Juju Lewis. We also got another guy, Amari Griffin. If Amari Griffin, 3-star quarterback out of the state of Alabama, if he signs with Alabama, I believe he's going to turn some heads. He'll be like a Jalen Hurts prospect. We know about him. We're going to know about him, but he probably won't get the looks and say he's going to compete for a starter position. Amari Griffin is a dude. Amari Griffin is a dude. Feels like Louisville. I can see Louisville. Especially with who's over there now at Louisville? Wide receiver? Ja'Cory Brooks. Ja'Cory Brooks over at Louisville, right? That would be cool. That'll be cool. Prentice has put on good. Man, listen. Prentice, Kendrick Law was already a muscle, but Prentice, Emmanuel Henderson has put on some good weight. Y'all, you know, Kobe Prentice said, I don't think Kobe Prentice realizes his potential yet. He's still out there like getting it, dogging it, but he still treats himself as if he has something to prove. And when you have a guy with his skill set that's treating himself with that, I gotta prove this mindset, it gets dangerous. Another guy, Bubba Hampton. Bubba Hampton is going to make noise this year, y'all. I don't know if it's going to be on the special team side. I don't know if it's going to be like strictly jet sweep or jet motion, get them in one-on-ones with safeties. But yeah. And y'all see them working this kind of back shoulder throw look, like keeping the guy in motion, you know, throwing them in stride, but throwing to the back shoulder. That's a hot technique. Look at Kendrick Law. Freaking muscle, man. He looked like a running back. Looked like a prediction. Starting quarterback in 25 will be Mac. Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know. If Ty Simpson is there, I can't jump on that one. Nah, Caleb. I don't think Mac, man, listen. So under Kalen DeBoer, what you will see under Kalen DeBoer, and even with Nick Sheridan, you want to see guys with talent, right? And so you'll have a year where you get to, you know, work your way in. If you're just uber talented, you know, there's no denying you getting on the field, of course. But those guys are very far and few. Juju is not one of those guys. He's not a true freshman starter. Juju has things that he's going to have to learn. The speed of the game at the SEC level and the next level, if we sign Juju, he's going to have to learn that, right? Austin Mack is dealing with that now. He didn't get snaps at Washington last year. He's not. This will be his first year actually, you know, being able to go through some real game planning. This is what I like too, y'all. But Austin Mack going through some real game planning, game prep into game, you know, game situations. This is his first year getting that. And it's going to be a learning curve. Nah, Miro's not going to be here next year, man. Miro's definitely going to the draft. Miro's already getting second round, high second round, late first round draft grades. GMs are already talking to Miro. Look at the soft hands by our running backs. Richard Young, I was glad to see his energy up yesterday after his huge scrimmages. He's had 2 good scrimmages the last 2 weeks. Now, this is the young man I'm excited about, y'all. Daniel Hill. Look how big that dude is. That boy look like a bowling ball. I call him Baby Jerome Bettis, the way he be out there moving. I want y'all to watch this by Justice Haynes. Watch this by Justice Haynes. Look how eager these quarterbacks be. They be ready to work, man. They be ready to work. Yeah, Miro definitely gonna be gone. Let me pull up let me do polls. I haven't done polls in a minute. Let's do a poll. Oh, snap. I was about to say, that's crazy. Let's do a poll, y'all. We got a nice relaxing day. We ain't got nowhere to be. I'm gonna eat lunch in here in a few. Let's get a poll going though. Let's get a poll going. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm all out the screen. Let's get a poll going. Here we go. Poll. First poll of the day. We got all right, here we go. Start poll. I got a poll up for y'all. Y'all run it up while y'all enjoy this B-roll footage. Got a poll up for y'all. Come on, run up the votes. I want to get a whole bunch of votes in today. We got 246 watching, man. Make sure y'all run the likes up for your boy, man. Make sure y'all run the likes up for the channel. We appreciate every like, every fan funder, everybody. We need y'all run them likes up. Please do so for your favorite Bama YouTube reporting destination. Let me pull this up like this. Boom. We sitting at 186 likes. Let's get it up to 200 likes, y'all. Let's get up to 200 likes. 200 likes. We had 186. 238 watches. Let's get 200 likes on this video. Put my vote in. Oh, yo, this is like a landslide. This is like a landslide right now. This is a landslide right now. We got 44 votes in. Come on, give me 6 more votes. Let's get at least 50. You know what? Let's get a whole bunch in. Let's get a whole bunch in. So the question is, who is the starter for 2025? Ty Simpson, Dylan Mack. Let's talk about it while we're here. All right. You don't like thumbs? Oh my God. You must don't like texting very much. Yo, Kyle got this whole it looked like the drone. Looked like a drone movement right there. Y'all should have seen him with the little stick, the little camera holder. Y'all should have seen Kyle out there putting in work, man. It was funny. Had a good time watching practice yesterday. All right, so while that debate is up, what transfer do you think will come to Bama? I like the DB Will Johnson, Austin French with the $9.99 super chat. I do like Will Johnson. I don't know if he enters the transfer portal though. I know if he does, Bama is the destination. I won't even mark it here, and appreciate you for the $9.99 super chat. The conversations that I had with that camp before, they shut it down and he was locked in at Michigan, right, to get his staff a chance, which is respectable. You can respect a player who doesn't jump ship because the coaching changed. You know what I'm saying? Gives his brothers and his team a chance to see where he fits in at, goes through the spring training, remains a leader, right? Will Johnson, if he enters the portal after the spring, he's coming to Alabama. There's no questions about it. Mo Linquist, Courtney Morgan, Kalen DeBoer, this staff, Kane Womack, they have a relationship with this young man. There have already been things already in the workings for if he decides to jump into the portal. So I like Will Johnson. I also like the tackle from that was at Arizona. I can't remember his name. You'll have to get with Coach Jay, but this guy I feel like will be a great asset. And he's an offensive tackle there. Looks like we got enough votes. Let's get it. So 61 votes and 91% are saying Ty Simpson will be the starter next year, and 9% of you saying Dylan Mack. I'm with that. I'm with that Ty Simpson crew. I think Ty Simpson is definitely the man next year. All right, let's talk about the defense, man. I want y'all to look at like some of the quickness in these drills. So you have some of the walk-ons, some of the freshmen on the other side holding some of the dummies, right? Holding the pads. Right now you see, is that 35? Jeremiah Alexander, and I believe number 40. Number 40, I want to say that's Sterling Dixon, I want to believe. Let me because they don't even have the updated roster up anymore. Let me pull the roster up. I'm still not well versed with the numbers. Don't beat me up. Right? Don't jack me up. Don't jack me up. Uh-oh. Wow, that's loading. Oh, yeah, they updating it right now as we speak. Look. They updating the webpage as we speak. I think number 40 was Sterling Dixon, though. I want to say Sterling Dixon. You thought it was Dylan Lonergan? What you thought was JJ McCarthy? Fair comparison. I think the arm talent is better than JJ's though. A lot of people were trying to compare Ty Simpson to Quinn Ewers, and I was like, no, way better. Byron Walker. You can think that if you want to. If you talk to Will Johnson's father, you'll think differently. Smoot, come on. You know it's Austin Mack. Oh, my fault. Austin Mack. My fault. I said Dylan Mack. My fault, y'all. My fault. Yeah, I'm hungry, bro. Brain farts, brain flatulence, all that stuff is happening right now. Cause your boy, y'all know I be eating, and I've been working out like crazy, y'all. I've been going crazy with the workouts. I mean, I've been putting myself on like this freaking super grind mode, y'all. And so when I don't eat enough, it shows. There was a part of this clip, man, that I wanted y'all to see. I wonder if he got it with the O-line. It don't look like he got it on this one. Y'all know what this drill is used for, right? Learning how to keep balance and maintain control of the ball. Our running back room is nasty, man. You know, number 41 is fast too. I don't know his name. He's clearly not a scholarship guy, but that kid's fast. I was watching him doing some of the drills yesterday. He got out in the slot and ran out and up. Oh, the kid is fast. Protein shake for the dub. Listen, I did a protein shake the other day, and I said I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till I start eating clean again, and that ain't gonna be till after my birthday. So June, that's when y'all gonna see your boy like pack on some serious weight. All right, so defensive side. Let's talk a little bit about the defensive side before we get out of here. I think right now with the confidence in the defense, Kane Womack is very confident in the progression of the main concern was in the secondary. You know, with the boundary guys and the guys on the back end. The free safety position seems to be solidified. You got Keon Sabb working up there. He and Malachi Moore, depending on how the formation shifts, they're assuming that primary free safety positions, that responsibility. And then you have a youngin like Peyton Woodyard working in behind him. Brayson Hubbard is somebody that I saw working with second team yesterday. He was in that Husky position, I want to say. That's the position he was in. And a lot of the plays that he was in was when there was 2 tight end sets. So you kind of see that the staff wants to use, you know, skill sets and body size. We know Brayson Hubbard is a great in the box safety, strong safety type build. And also he can get into the second and third phase as far as coverage when he's having to guard the likes of a running back or a tight end. So seeing Brayson Hubbard get some work in yesterday was good to see. He actually was lined up across from Cole Adams, which is crazy to me because Cole is shifty. And Brayson jammed him up pretty nicely. Who else, man? Dre Kirkpatrick, he's starting to show. Tony Mitchell, we had a Tony Mitchell sighting yesterday. Tony Mitchell actually had a nice hit yesterday during the 11s period. And we knew that he was going to be physical, right? We knew that Tony Mitchell was going to be a physical guy. The question is, can he continue to build on the positives and stick with it and go through the grind? Tony Mitchell might end up having a similar type of progression or career progression as Devontae Smith is experiencing right now, being a veteran in the room, not necessarily being a starter, but being implemented in key spots. And you never know what happens in the season. We saw Christian Story kind of get overlooked last year when he came in and proved that he was a viable asset to be at the safety position. And I think we can all agree on this for most everybody that is in the chat that watched Bama play last year. When Christian Story came in the first game, he looked timid. He looked nervous because he wasn't prepared for the moment. But anytime Christian Story had to come in for relief efforts, or anytime he had to, he ended up starting one game, you saw his skill set. You saw how he was way more efficient than Jalen Key. So hopefully Tony Mitchell can stay consistent and continue to grow. Somebody said justice for Heisman. Yeah, Jarvis, I was just saying this yesterday. It's hard to believe A-Day will be here in, what's today, Wednesday? 3 days. 3 days, A-Day. We waking up. We're going to A-Day in 3 days. With the talent and coaching, just feel so confident they will be great, especially with 2 warm-up games. Are you saying, Steven, are you feeling confident? Or are you coming at me for being confident? And I'm not trying to be argumentative today, for real. I was just asking. Oh, wasn't that bad of a loss? Okay, right. Right, saying wasn't that bad of a loss. Nah, Steven, I was talking about this comment with the talent and coaching. Are you saying I just feel or what? I'm missing it. I'm just trying to acknowledge some comments. Yeah, I'm not worried about Julian saying. I'm not worried about that dude. I don't even care to talk about Julian saying. I think it was going to be hard for him to get on the field regardless. Ty Simpson was there. Milroe was there. Like, it was going to be hard for him to get on the field. He's not big enough. He's not athletic. He's great arm talent, great traditional pocket QB. He's a great traditional pocket QB. Julian Sayers can break down defenses with the best of them as long as he's got an offensive line. Yeah, 40 Dixon. Okay, Sterling Dixon. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was cool seeing him. Okay, so check this out. Quick story moment with Coach Smoot. So we're standing in the hallway, getting ready to get let in to do the footage you were just watching, right? And Tim Keenan walks up the hallway. Behind him is like Ja Latham, CJ Dupree. Who's 92? Whoever number 92 is, I want to say that's Jordan Renard, maybe. Maybe it's Jordan Renard. Or 90 might be Jordan Renard. Jeremiah Beeman was walking up down the hallway. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at these dudes. I'm like, man, these some big dudes, man. Like, some of these dudes big. But CJ Dupree and Robbie Oots are like some specimens, dog. Like, they so jacked. They look like WrestleMania stars. Like, for real. CJ Dupree is a big dude. But I look at CJ and he does this whole like Coach Smoot, like, and says my name, y'all. I was like, yo, this is crazy. So that was a little moment for me. It was pretty cool. Yeah, Milroe and Haynes. Who was the walk-on that went to school with Kool-Aid? What number is he? 30. Elijah May. I want to say it's 38. I think he's number 38. Elijah May. He's still getting reps with second and third team, y'all. And I know we don't have depth in the secondary, but he's getting reps, y'all. He played some ISO corner where Damani Jackson, he got some reps over there. Elijah May might see the field. If not as a starter or as a rotational player, he might be on the special teams and he'll have an extra year eligibility. Elijah May might get on the field. As a matter of fact, if I could get Elijah May on, if I could get in contact with Elijah May, y'all can help me get in contact with Elijah May. I would love to. Okay, Hyperactive, appreciate you for putting me on. J.R. Gardner from Gulf Shores. You know what, Hyperactive? What's crazy is Gulf Shores has a lot of talent coming out of it. This 25, this 26, 27 class. They have a lot of talent come from down there, man. Myself and Brody Smoot, the Smooth Way. We about to be doing some recruiting, traveling and stuff, and we gonna be headed down there this upcoming season. Elijah May might see the field, man, and I'm not wishing any injuries on anybody, but Mincy went down. I think he had a dislocated nose, a broken nose or something. He got hit in the face pretty hard, but I really think that this Elijah May kid, I think he's legit. Of course, there's other talent, scholarship talent in front of him. But when I look at how he plays the game of football, he can go and play anywhere right now. He can. Elijah, Alijah. Elijah May. Smooth cows. What? Smoot, you gonna hit Sarlin if we need to do lunch? What you talking about, Cynthia? Right now? Cause I in this stream right now. I meet you at Sarlin. Why you playing, brother? Hungry too? I in this segment right now. Look, I in this mode right now. Don't play with me. All right, Steven, have a good day, brother. Appreciate y'all for hanging out, man. Y'all know it's coming to the end. Let's get into some more chat talk. Any last things y'all want to hear about? Sterling that spot. Now, I got a lot of people I'm supposed to be seeing in Sterling. Look, I know Sterling. It's a lot of spots in Sterling to eat at. That's why I said I'll take lunch. I'll drive the Mobile. I'll take that little, what is it, about 4 hours from me now? 5, maybe 4. Oh, Ruben, that's a Y'all hear that thunder? I don't know if y'all hear, but I hear. That would be cool for him to do that. That would be cool, man. I don't think it'll happen. Wouldn't it have to happen in the spring? That would be cool if he did something like that on A-Day. That'd be awesome. Hey, Moon Rocker. It hasn't. Y'all remember I posted that on Twitter yesterday when I said if these eyes and ears could talk? There were a few things happening at the same time. Nah, Dino, see what you do is you grab a snack. You grab a pizza from what's the gas station up here? You go grab you some pizza, right? Or get you some gas station glizzies, right? Dress the mugs up. You snack on that, get you down the road, drink some water, all that good stuff while you're on the road. You get down there, boom. Be straight, be hungry again. That's how this metabolism works. All right, William, take it easy, man. Get ready for work, my boy. Hey, some of y'all don't be blaming us for being late for work. Be putting that on your reason for being late, talking about something. I was watching Bama football on YouTube. Coach Smoot went over on his segment again. And we get me in trouble. I got 2 seconds. So now we're about to start the closeout. 3 hours. We try to do 3 hour lives in the morning, right? We right at that 3 hour mark. What's in Birmingham? What's in Birmingham, Steven? I not QT. We ain't doing QT. That's nasty. What y'all listen? This Saturday we get to meet up. Oh, yes. Announcement for everybody here. Before y'all go, please don't leave just yet. I am going to be posting a link. For the A-Day After Dark bowling night, right? We have 40 slots right now. No, actually, we only have 34 slots because some people that got linked into it was a different link, made their payments. But the only way that we're going to be able to do it is everybody needs to go ahead and make their RSVP. You'll get an email telling you what you need to do. There's 3 forms of payment. You need to go ahead and get those payments in, guys. You need to go ahead and get those payments in because I need to pay this pay for the reservation by tomorrow. All right. And so today we coming up on the noon hour. Yes, no later than 1 o'clock today will that post be made. Check out my Twitter, check out my Instagram, check out my Facebook. If you don't have either one of those, you got to reach out to me an email. I will get you the link and the flyer so you all can get to it. And I'm actually going to go live on my channel after this segment while I go get something to eat and talk about A-Day After Dark. So y'all check that out. And if you aren't following me yet, if you guys aren't following me yet, y'all, take an opportunity to go follow me on all platforms, whatever you have active. That's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, YouTube. Follow me on all my socials, guys. The channel, the network is growing. This channel is growing. My fan base is starting to grow up. You know, my supporter base is starting to grow a little bit. People are starting to, you know, take a liking to what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get 1% better every day. I'm trying to get better every day. I'm grinding. And this is the new wave of content, right? And I want to involve you all. I want you all to be on some of my videos. I got the privilege to chill with Jay Jackson and his family, man. Jay Jackson and his old lady and his sister-in-law. Like, that was a good time, man. Seeing people, like, they watch you on this screen and then they come and they just tell you straight up, like, man, you really, I appreciate what you do. And I appreciate when people not. Jay was standing with me when a fan came, a supporter of the channel came out and was like, Coach Smoot, what's up? You Bama football on YouTube? Ain't you Coach Smoot? Like, that was cool, man. That was cool. And I'm not trying to be famous. I love doing good work. And when people recognize you for being authentic, that's what I'm all about, man. So I appreciate y'all. Lynn Shaneyfeld said, head to T-Town right now. If you're in the undefeated, let me know. We have some drinks, maybe late lunch. Excited to be back home. Lynn, ain't nobody trying to hang out with you. Oh, I'm just playing, man. Y'all know I gotta be ratchet for like 2 seconds, y'all. I'm sorry, Lynn. You know I'm playing with you, man. You know I'm playing. Oh, you know I'm playing with you, my guy. Tornado one is down here. Listen, I'm about to go be eating in this tornado. Can't nothing stop me from eating. If they serving food where I'm trying to eat at, I'm eating. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for hanging out, y'all. Again, follow your boy at Coach Smook on all platforms. Y'all know I love y'all, man. Y'all know I'm a fool. Y'all know I'm gonna act up sometimes. But today was a great segment again. Today was a great segment again, y'all. We're working on something here. We're building some. I think this evening we'll have. Did Kyle pull out information about where we're going to be at? Did he? What's today? Wednesday? No, he said going to do it Thursday. So we'll have a spot for y'all to come see us. Caleb, I know. Hey, we'll have a spot for y'all to be able to see us. Stop by. I think we was talking about being at the band practice field, which is it's a little walk, but it's worth it. You know, when you talk about the amount of space that we're going to have, the flow into the stadium is going to be real easy. But the space that we're trying to set up, hopefully we have a tent. I'm thinking about going to buy a tent to set us up. And we might need a generator. Anybody in the chat trying to supply a generator? Jordan Campbell, what's good, family? What's good? See you tomorrow, my guy. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Appreciate you, family. You're a delivery driver in this junk. Hey, good luck, man. Stay safe, man. I'm not going to die home. Jamie, you better believe that. They're going to have, when they start embalming me, it's going to be some food in there. I'm telling you, they're going to have me hooked up. Listen, what a little thing is. You know the little breathing things that they put in your nostrils? I'm going to have them in my nose, and I'm going to be asking for a barbecue sandwich or something, some fried chicken, something. I'm going to be trying to eat something, I promise you. Ruben said, did I get the email with the pics? I think so. You talking about the one from a while ago? If you're talking about the one from a while ago, I'm not about to even give you no more attention today, Ruben, because now you're being bad. And we had a great segment, no controversy, right? And if you're talking about that, I'm going to put you in timeout, Ruben. I'm going to put you in timeout. I'm going to put you in timeout, Ruben. You better not. Listen. And then my boy, he ain't coming again. I hope he ain't take offense to that. I hope he know I was just playing. Y'all know I be playing. If I feel like you fam, I joke with you like that, okay? If I feel like you fam, I joke with you like that. So, Ruben, what are you talking about? Don't be scared to answer now, because I'm gonna end the segment after your answer. I'm gonna end the segment after your answer. Don't be scared to answer now. Moon Rocker, you chilling? You need to be chilling. You tripping, boy. The Ruben, I'm waiting for Ruben to respond, because if it's the email that I already read and the screenshots that he sent, then I'm ending the stream, because he being petty. He being petty. Ruben, go ahead. I want everybody. I'm putting you on blast today, Ruben. For the last 2 seconds, I'll put you on blast because you being petty. You acting like you ain't got no home training, and we supposed to be civilized today. We supposed to be civilized today. Marquita, what you laughing at? Marquita, you in Huntsville, right? I might have to come up to. Oh no, I didn't see him. Okay, Ruben, you safe. I thought you was talking about the old email when you was, sending the screenshots, folks talking crazy and stuff. I was like, we're not being petty, but no, I didn't. I'm gonna check it out. Here in a second. As a matter of fact, let me check it out before I get off. Hey, Ruben, I didn't get it. Ruben. Did you send it to my email, or you sent it to me on another? Did you send it to me on something else? Get it over to me, man. I want to see it. Shawnee, hey, it ain't too late. We can look for a flight. As a matter of fact, fam, you hit me up too. We might be able to do something. I think God is doing something. This is how I'm ending. This is kind of like encouragement, y'all. Okay. All right, so what I was about to say, I just got a good email, so I'm excited. Yeah, so y'all, let's go ahead and get up out of here. We running the time down, y'all know. Make sure y'all follow, right there at Coach Smook on every platform, and be looking out for this live here at about 1:00 when I get out of here to go get some food. All right, y'all be blessed. Words of encouragement, man. Listen, continue to be authentic. Continue to just pour into people. I feel like God has placed us in this position. Every one of us. Some of you may not be religious or have us, whatever. But I think spirituality is definitely a part of what we do and who we are, our makeup. And I think there's a such thing as destiny and divine appointment. And I think everybody that comes to this channel and interacts on a daily, that supports this channel with positive intentions, whether it's disagreeing with a desire to understand, or agreeing, supporting, or even just being an encouragement to somebody in the chat. I've seen it multiple times. I think we've been set here on this time. Some people look at the Coach Saban transition as just something, with football, but it changed the culture. It opened up an opportunity for a culture to change. And I think we are a part of it. I think what we're doing here with Bama football on YouTube is a huge part of it. And I'm not throwing any shade at any other platforms or anything, but we're different. We're different, and we're made for this. We're built for this. So all the adversity, all the naysayers, everybody talking against us that feel like we're not doing something legit, just keep watching. Just keep watching. Maybe one day you'll join in and you'll support it with a positive intent, and we'll accept you gladly. But until then, keep all that negative energy away, because you come in here with it. You know what I'm saying? We up. We ready. We got them. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, y'all, stay encouraged throughout this day. Stay safe. So for the ones that's coming for A-Day, we can meet. I can't wait to meet all of you guys, all the supporters, all the haters. I can't wait to meet y'all. I can't wait ready to see how how things unfold once we're in person. Get some of you all. So the plan is to have y'all on screen, on the live, giving your takes, like all of that. We want to have a microphone, all that good stuff, man. It's supposed to be a vibe that whole day. So can't wait. Y'all be blessed, man. It's your boy Coach Smook, and I'm gonna leave y'all with a big old roll tide. Roll. Let's get it, man. See y'all later tonight.
Bye.